static, they called it all a joke. Wearing tinfoil crowns like kings wrapped in smoke. Eyes wide open while the world stayed blind. Laughed until the truth left us all behind. They knew it all along when the sky turned red. Lines on the map tracing what was never said. Voices in the dark now louder than the throng. The fools they mocked were right all along. Blueprints and shadows, the pieces fit so tight. Dug beneath the surface till the lies saw light. Maps of the stars that they claimed were fake. Truth rises slowly like a quake in the wake. They knew it all along when the ground did shake. Threads of a plan unraveling the fake. Echoes of the past in a loud, clear song. The fools they mocked were right all along. Who's laughing now with the curtains torn wide? The mask fell off and the secrets couldn't hide. The watchers became the ones who knew. The crazy ones turned out to be the true. They knew it all along when the walls came down. Wrote it in the dust of a forsaken town. History rewinds as we hum their song. The fools they mocked were right all along.
Mainstream media and the news. All yeah, we'll skip that part. We'll just skip that part. Pretty sure my audio's good. At least on my side it is. Oh, I got a busy weekend. Starting in the morning, I've already got people all over the nation are already here. People have been flying in and driving in all day yesterday. And I announced a bunch, like 40 people are meeting at a restaurant over here. I had breakfast with Jamie Robbins and Big John. People are coming in. So we're gonna hang out all day Friday, all day Saturday, Friday night. Probably going to get in trouble. I don't know where we're going to go. I'm pretty sure there's some good restaurants and bars in Old Town Spring. We're going to do it again on Saturday night. By Sunday, we'll probably be pretty exhausted. Bunch of like-minded, free-spirited, free thinkers getting together. We possibly couldn't get in trouble. Man, I'm looking forward to it because it's a milestone. It's a milestone. It's the first meetup I've done not having an itinerary, not going in there with a whole bunch of stuff that I plan on talking about. No, man, I'm best when I shoot from the hip. I'm best when I'm being genuine, when I just come out and we just openly talk, fraternize. People are coming long distances to hang out with me and the Archaix team. So that's why I'm going to give them this meetup. It's not going to be pontificating from a podium and going all, yeah, screw all that. I never liked that setup anyway. So we'll do pictures and book signings and just hang out. Oh, we got a lot of stuff to give away too. We have our little we have a raffle machine and all kinds of goodies. So it's a lot like this video, a total freestyle. I was just going through all my files when I was putting together my academy and finishing up my academy last week, and I put a file to the side of memes. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. There's about a good 1,500 memes in there I can't show on YouTube. But But the ones I can, yeah, I got them right here. We're going to go through them. So if you're in underground, you already know. I had these memes I haven't really shared in underground. I don't know. I don't think they're in there. I pulled these from Archaix TV back when we had the player platform. So if you're in underground, you already know we have meme warfare. Out of the 40-something spaces, one of them is dedicated to meme warfare, and it's just a whole bunch of hilarious stuff. People from all over the world have been finding the best memes and putting them in there. So I should have got my memes from out of there, but I didn't. So what you're going to see here, I'm pretty sure a bunch of people are going to grab them and throw them in meme warfare. I forgot all about meme warfare. I could have got a bunch of good stuff from there too. Now I've been putting some of the real serious stuff I've been putting on X because I can get away with it. I can post those memes on X. I started posting them a few days ago. I just posted one not even 10 minutes ago. Real serious shit. And I got more to do. But that's on X where I can get away with it. And anything I do on X automatically appears in Underground. So it's all good. Hell yeah. You know you live in a highly censored world of evil, nefarious, no good, wicked SOBs when they have whole agencies designed just to fact check memes. Man, what kind of world do we live in? It's so good. So great. So let's see here. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of this this song here. I got a few video clips to show you too. Not everything is humorous. So this is we're in the apocalypse. We're fully into year 5 of the apocalypse, 2026 right now. It started in 2020. By February, March of 2021, that was the first year. So we're well into 5 years of the apocalypse. Actually 6 years. The great unveiling, removing the masks off everything. So also, the Pike-Mazzini quote that's real popular. We've talked about that in the past. I just think that people aren't really paying attention. World War I and World War II and World War III were completely mapped out in the 1800s. World War I came about exactly as we know. I'm going to show it to you, the Pike-Mazzini plan. Show it to you there. The World War II unfolded exactly how. Why? How do we know? Because it was caused by the same people. Guys, World War III is going to unfold the exact same way. And it's not what you think. You're not paying attention. I'm going to show you what a lot of people have missed, what the agenda is. Yeah, people in the West keep thinking, "Oh man, Christianity is going to fall. Oh man, the West is going to fall. We're all going to go down and burn, and World War III is going to be the end game for the rest of us." Bullshit. That's not what that Pike-Mazzini plan says at all. We're already seeing the Pike-Mazzini plan unfolding right now with the Epstein files. This shit's going to get real. Pamela, so many agendas, so little time, y'all. So let's get to it. Man, let's get to it. Let's look at these memes. They are in no specific order, which is the way I like it, because I have no idea in what order we're going to be seeing these things. So you can expect an emotional roller coaster between serious shit, very humorous stuff, and very enlightening things. Just never know, because I didn't put them in order, and I didn't put them in order for a reason. I'm normally very, very structured in anything that I present to you guys, but this is not going to be the case. You need to be on that same emotional roller coaster that you were on in 2020, going into 2021, going into 2022, flowing through 2023, 2024, 2025, and now the beginning of 2026. They have taken us on a ride. So the only way to appreciate many of the memes, many of the genius things that people have noticed and said, is to go back through that ride as we felt it. So let's do it. All right, Gispy, what's that? Gisky Picture says, I'm so ready. Yeah, I'm going to have fun this weekend, guys, because it's completely unscripted. I have zero, I've even told the Archaix team, I have zero itinerary for the meetup. I am letting source guide me in every conversation and everything that I say and everything that I do, whatever happens in these 2 days of just meeting with the community, all the people that took time out of their lives to drive and fly here. You know what? It's all about the community. It's all about them. It's not even about me. It's not about my team. I've told them it's not about us guys. It has nothing to do with us. These people took time out of their lives. So we need to make sure they're not just gonna be sitting down bored listening to some monologue. We're not doing that bullshit. All right. It always surprises me to find, like Las Vegas, we had those guys come from Australia. Fort Worth, we had people coming from India and Canada. We always have people flying in from Mexico. Mexico's got a lot of errands. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. You never know who's going to be there. Oh, had a great conversation on the phone with Jeff Stout. Yeah, man. He sent me his number. I called him. He said, man, I'm coming to Texas in June. You guys remember, Jeff Stout is my only childhood friend. He is my only connection to the past of before I went to prison as a kid, 17 years old. He is the only connection. And he was a long childhood connection. We did a skit together in the 5th grade in Miss Tally's class where I pretended to have a British accent and he did too. And we did some dumb skit in front of, but we got popular for it. It was in 5th grade. We were friends in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. And then I got in a lot of trouble and I ran away from home at 15 years old, but I still stayed in contact with Jeff. I still came back and visited Jeff when I was 15 and 16. Then I'm 17 years old. I went to prison. So Jeff and I touch base. He's got he's got 5 or 6 kids. He's my age, and it's so crazy because Astrologer Joe called it before I knew anything about Jeff Stout's plans. Before Jeff even contacted me, Astrologer Joe, in front of all of you on YouTube, said when he was reading my chart that I have a major connection to my deep past. He said childhood. Later in the year, because we were talking about the springtime. He says, wow, later in the year, you got it's right here in your chart, man. You got a real deep connection, a reconnection with your past. Man, Jeff's coming in June to Texas. We already talked about hotels, talked about what we're going to do, stay. He's going to be here for several days in Texas. We may even drive through the old neighborhood and it's crazy. So crazy, man. So crazy. Definitely put our reconnection on YouTube. May even be a little emotional. Who knows? All right. Yeah. He's had an awesome life. He lives in Hawaii now. He's had an awesome life, man. Building a family. That's what it's all about. He's had more than enough kids for me and him. So I went through my 26 years in prison. And he went through his own, he had kids too early and it made him mature real fast and he grew up, and then he went for a long period of time and just building his life, and then he met somebody and started had a whole nother family, another 5 kids. So we've been down our own roads and struggles. We've been all over the world, different hemispheres, and here we are. And it's so bizarre how we reconnected a couple years ago. It was so bizarre because I've been telling you guys in many videos in the past. I told you about Jeff Stout, and I told you how he had long red hair. He used to play in a band and as a teenage band, just playing around. I told you the different things before I was even in contact with him. And then one day he's in Hawaii, and he's looking up old phone numbers of people who went to school in Bedford, Texas. He's looking up, and he's trying to find me. He's literally thinking about, man, how do I find Jason, man? He's trying to look up old numbers, trying to look up people, man, he can contact. And man, anybody know what Jason's doing now, where he's at and all that. So while he's doing this over a period of a few days, trying to reconnect with the past, people that we went to school with. He listens to a doctor in Hawaii who has a YouTube channel that he pays attention to. He listens to this guy all the time. I've now talked to this guy, this doctor in Hawaii with a YouTube channel. So he's listening to this guy in Hawaii who happens to drop my name. So yeah, I listened to Jason of Archaix. And it triggered Jeff. He's like, Jason of Archaix, man. So he's sitting there listening to the video, and then it shows me on this doctor's channel. Shows a picture of me, and John's like, holy shit, that's Jason, minus the hair. It says, that's Jason. So he contacted the doctor, and the doctor contacted me and said, hey, man, this guy named Jeff Stout's over here, man, claiming he knows you from childhood, man. He's been trying to reconnect. And this is how it happened. So, it's just so crazy, man. Source. It's all about source. Source will always make the connections that you can't. It's just so bizarre. Life is so bizarre. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Like I said, we got some serious things to look at. We got some really comical, sometimes we just got to laugh at shit. Educational. But these are in the order of the file. And I did not feel compelled at all. To we're going to put that away right there. So check my screen window. All right. So this is a video clip. I have to share this differently. It's always something. The very first thing is a video clip. All right. Let me go back to where I was. Here it is. Cool. We'll get all 3 video clips out the way first. That's just the best way to do it. Best way to do it.
Prominents tell you that the Alpha Draconians are here now. Where?
There are 1,833 of them that have been living underground between 100 and 200 miles beneath the surface. They've been here, some of them have been here a long, long time. They have lifespans that are thousands of years. They're carnivorous. They are not friendly to mankind, at least the ones that are here.
Are you saying carnivorous, they eat humans?
Yes. And they won't eat a dead human. It has to be alive at the time of the killing. Their preference is children. And we've been told, you shouldn't talk about that. There are other people say, well, you better not talk about the reptilians. Well, bull. Why not? According to the Andromedans, they're responsible for 31,712 children disappearing in the last 25 years from the United States. These children were food. And I'm supposed to just shut up and not say anything about it because people don't want to hear it? That's tough. That's tough. Westchester County, in the last 5 years, 3,000 children in Westchester County, New York, have vanished without a trace. Where are they going? Why are we allowing this to happen? And why should people stay in denial about it?
Now, how are they able to do this? How are they able to do it? How are they able to come up out of this from underground and do it? Or do they have...
There are tunneling systems everywhere. They're being helped by the Greys, and also there are groups within the higher echelon that are actually helping them acquire this.
So human beings are abducting the kids and getting them to the Greys, who in turn give them to the Alpha Draconians?
That's right. That's part of the deal. They won't come up as long as we feed them down there. You understand? It's about human beings selling themselves out. The echelon attitude here, the needs of the few outweigh the needs of humanity. And sorry, that just isn't right. But it's going to have to be humanity that's going to rise up and take the stand. You're just going to have to turn off your televisions. They're going to have to get in their car. They're going to have to fire everybody in Washington, D.C. that knows and does nothing. And they're going to have to do something. This apathy's got to end. Otherwise, the way we live is going to end. Period. I mean, that's the bottom line. And I'm not coming from a fear space. I'm really quite angry about the apathy and the fact that, when people give lectures and try to tell us, people want to stand up and fight with them. Look at what's happening around us. The indications are everywhere. Everywhere. The truth is now an obscure thing. The lie is the norm. There's something wrong here. What's wrong with this picture? Sorry, I'm getting crazy.
No, you're not. You're expressing.
Okay, so let's put that into context. Alex Collier was talking, Collier, I don't know how you pronounce his name. You guys know him. He's famous. I hear he's still around. I don't know. But he was saying this. You have to put these things into context. This is the year 2026. This is 36 years ago. This man was saying exactly what we're finding in the Epstein files right now. Exactly what David Icke's been telling us for 30-something years. So maybe you guys in the comment section can provide value here where I can't. I don't know. But is this 1990 clip of Alex Collier actually before David Icke ever got on the Reptilian deal? I don't know. I don't know enough about David Icke's history. Or did David Icke come out with it first? It doesn't really matter. I'm just curious because I'm not familiar with any David Icke books before like 1994. Or is it 1996? I'm not really sure. So this is huge. We already knew about the tunneling systems. We've been hearing all about the reptilians, and it's almost as if the more David Icke talked about it, the more the public's like, man, you're full of shit. Yeah, you're just absolutely full. We're trying to hear this shit. You got some really good stuff on other stuff and on the elite and on the Rockefellers, on the Rothschilds. It's really badass and stuff. I mean, it got so bad. On David, with David Icke, the disbelief, the cognitive dissonance got so bad that David Icke was even attacked by the Jewish power structure because the ADL in many Jewish organizations really thought that David Icke was using reptilians euphemistically to refer to the Jews. Yeah, they really thought he got banned from like 30-something countries, and it's a misunderstanding. David Icke's really talking about reptilians, but the Jews thought they were talking about them. Man, talk about a guilt complex. You can't make this shit up. Hey man, talking about kids missing and eating kids and blood sports and all this stuff and underground tunnels. That dude talking about us. You can't make this shit up. Oh my God. Just can't make this shit up. 36 years ago was the year 1990. I was 17 years old and I went to prison. It's a long time ago. I'm a 52-year-old man now. It's a long time ago. This man was already telling us the truth. Yeah, man. Can't make this shit up. I knew this was going to be a fun video.
I'm trying to document this very weird anomaly taking place on Ventu Sky. I don't know what this blob is here, but it's coming from what looks like Antarctica. If we backtrack a little bit, you're going to see it disappear and reappear on the screen. So we move into Monday the 8th, which was obviously 3 days ago. Watch as we move into Tuesday. This mass pops up with waves of 83.7 feet in height. What in God's name is this thing moving out of Antarctica, as you can see, and then it moves up the coast of Africa into the Atlantic Ocean. Watch this as we move into Wednesday the 10th, Thursday the 11th, which is today. This is going on right now. I don't know if these waves are actually hitting the coast or if this is some sort of glitch in the system, but I've never seen anything like this. This giant blob is showing 83.7 foot waves. This does not seem to be any sort of storm system. Let me zoom back out here. Let's move forward and see where this thing is projected to go. Watch this. Here's Friday the 12th tomorrow, moving more up the African coast. Here is Saturday the 13th. We could see it start to wrap around the northern western coast of Africa up into the Atlantic. Here is Sunday the 14th. Monday the 15th, we are in the Atlantic Ocean with waves of 62.1, 63 feet. This is just incredible. Here is Tuesday the 16th, and look, the entire thing is now in the Atlantic Ocean with averages of about 40 feet. There's 44, 33, 34.3. This is just very weird. What are we looking at here? Here's Wednesday the 17th, the last available data for this. And now we see the entire Atlantic Ocean, which, as we've discussed, discussed is already months ahead of time as far as temperatures, and we're looking at this very odd anomaly coming out of Antarctica. Now watch, I'm going to backtrack. I'll show you where this thing begins. We'll go all the way back to Monday the 8th. This is where the anomaly begins, and sometimes it glitches out. It's very weird. Here's Tuesday the 9th, and there it is. Pops right up. It's almost like this thing shot out of Antarctica and up towards the African coast. And as we backtrack in hours, we go to 5 a.m., 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m., and that's where it pops up between 5 and 8 p.m. This thing does not exist, and then it does exist on Tuesday the 9th at 8 p.m. After that, it just slowly moves up into the African coast. Here is the 10th once again, Thursday the 11th, Friday the 12th, Saturday.
All right, that's enough on that. I have some other photos of that. We'll probably look at those in a minute, here in a minute. But it's just another really interesting data point because it was never explained. We have never been given an official reason why this is, but we do know that Antarctica is something other than what we've been told. We have maps of Antarctica showing anatomically correct dinosaur type creatures, no snow and no ice. These maps are 550 years old and admittedly copies of maps from an earlier period, but it couldn't be no earlier than another 550 years. So we're literally looking at Dark Age period maps, maybe Middle Age, maybe maps from the Middle Ages. So nothing about our history that we've been told in the uniformitarian model is true. You guys know in Archaix, it's all about there's only two phases of the construct. You're either living in a vapor canopy world, which is short, they're only centuries, or you're living in an ice age. And these last for 1,800, 2,000 years. We're in an ice age now. And this has been shown over and over in Archaix. We're not going to get into that right now. Not going to get into that right now. But this is another major thing that was going on that we were never given an explanation for. Something that a lot of people documented. And I got one more video clip before we get to the memes. This is also interesting. I have on my shelf right here the actual Smithsonian hardback books that talk about this. It's very interesting. They are from 1909. Smithsonian. I have each Smithsonian book is about this thick of everything the Smithsonian Institution recorded for each year. I have the full volumes in hardback.
1908, President Teddy Roosevelt sought to protect the Grand Canyon from timber and mining operations. Explorer G.E. Kincaid, anticipating the closure, mounted an expedition to the area to find minerals. But what he discovered there was something completely unexpected. Approximately 40 miles upriver from El Tovar Crystal Canyon, Kincaid observed unusual sediment stains, and upon investigation found a cavern entrance with steps leading to it, suggesting a man-made structure. Inside, Kincaid found writings on the walls not in English or Native American scripts, but in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. This finding suggested a historical connection far beyond local or known civilizations. The cave system revealed a vast underground city, estimated to house up to 50,000 people, complete with granaries, cooking areas, and artifacts indicating a sophisticated society with knowledge of metalwork and possibly agriculture. Among the findings were granaries with preserved seeds, tools made of copper indicating a lost art of hardening the metal, and various artifacts that pointed to a technologically advanced civilization. The complexity of the cave system with engineered passageways and rooms challenged contemporary understandings of ancient civilizations in North America. Kincaid's findings led to a Smithsonian expedition led by Professor S.A. Jordan, which further explored the cave system, uncovering a central chamber with a statue resembling Buddha, hinting at a cultural amalgamation or influence from distant lands. The artifacts and the layout of the cave suggested a deliberate, sophisticated design, contradicting the notion of an isolated or primitive local civilization. Despite significant discoveries, mainstream researchers and the Smithsonian have labeled the account as a hoax and dismissing the claims of an advanced civilization predating Native Americans in the Grand Canyon, and the possibility of ancient transoceanic contacts that might have influenced pre-Columbian American civilizations. Any and all attempts to further explore or validate Kincaid's findings face governmental restrictions, with areas off limits for exploration. This remarkable discovery aligns with local tribal legends, such as those of the Hopi, suggesting a historical basis for tales of ancient peoples and non-human entities emerging from the Grand Canyon.
The Phoenix Gazette in 1909 published an article about what was discovered in the Grand Canyon, basically saying all these things right here. The Smithsonian, for you, it's a pretty cool story because the Smithsonian for many years had they had debunked it. The Smithsonian itself debunked their own deal, and they made it very difficult to find it. And they even claimed that the two principal archaeologists that excavated the area and stuff never worked for the Smithsonian. So this guy in 2014 on YouTube does a video. It's still on YouTube. He does a video and shows that the Smithsonian Institution lied about these these discoveries in the Grand Canyon, and showed the original 1907, 1908 Smithsonian like payrolls. He goes in and shows all off microfiche where these two archaeologists were indeed on the Smithsonian payroll when the Smithsonian was saying that they weren't, trying to say that these men never existed and this shit was never found. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Our reality is being edited as we live it. As we live it. All right, I think that's the last video. All right. Remove that from the field. So I did see something really, really compelling. I've done a lot of research on Easter Island. A lot. Share my screen. You know, about 4 years ago, I brought to you guys' attention, and I showed it on YouTube, that the back of these moai have like bas relief in bird cult imagery that's also found at Göbekli Tepe. And I also showed that there are statues at Tiwanaku and Easter Island, both, of vertical anthropomorphic pillars with the elbows at right angles and the fingers at right angles going over the curve of the pillar at the belt line. And they're very peculiar. Arms, elbows, hands, finger angles can all be in different positions, but they're the exact same in some of the moai. These are moa right here, these giant statues. They're the exact same at Tiwanaku and the exact same at Göbekli Tepe. But Göbekli Tepe, because it was found underground, is all of a sudden 8,000, 9,000 years old. But these other ones are only 3,000 years old. That's why I show you Göbekli. They're going to find, I keep telling you guys, they're going to continue finding more and more and more stuff showing that Göbekli Tepe is nowhere near as old as they've been. And now they found Proto-Sumerian seals, changed everything. They've been trying to clean it up, and they've been trying to push Sumer back farther and farther and farther, but they just can't. There's still a 5,000 year window they can't close. Yeah, they're going to have to bring Göbekli Tepe and all the other Tepe and Huyuk sites to a much closer period in time. Yeah, they let uniformitarians like Leakey sell them and gaslight them and invent a whole system called pre-pottery Neolithic that is entirely arbitrary. It sounds really intelligent. It's total fiction. And pre-pottery Neolithic isn't a way to date anything, because it's a label they fix on any archaeological sites that just don't happen to have pottery there. So they call it pre-pottery Neolithic in a uniformitarian style to allow them to be able to date things where they need to date them in order to still pass off the uniformitarian lie. So anyway, you guys already know, trigger me on the uniformitarians. So I found it really interesting that here's another civilization that left us direct evidence as to why they no longer exist. Guys, you can't make this shit up. You just can't. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I can't open I literally have to collapse the screen because these are not in juxtaposition. But this civilization left us direct lithic evidence as to why they no longer exist. I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to show it to you. And you know what? You can't make this shit up. It's so bizarre. So let's get to it. So Easter Island off South America in the South Pacific is no longer with us today at all. But they wanted to tell the future what happened. Right here. It's a rabbi hole. Somebody just happened to add a T to it later on. But it is absolutely identical. It is absolutely identical to the Easter Island moai. Right here. You can't make this shit up. It is the exact same hat. If you do not believe me, we'll just go right back to it. So civilizations leave the clues as to why they disappeared in the ground all the effing time. All the effing time, guys. All right, now I believe we can run through, and I don't have to keep bouncing back and forth. But you saw it here on Archaix first, just like you saw it first on Archaix, where I showed the anthropomorphic pillars that link Tiwanaku, that link Easter Island, and link Göbekli Tepe. Now, since then, Jay Anderson on X, since I showed all this on Archaix, Jimmy Corsetti has clipped a lot of this, and he acts like to his community he's the discoverer. Jay Anderson, he's another one, man. But Jay Anderson has also done that. He has taken all this and acted like, now I'm not saying they got it from me, but I'm the first one that I know of that showed actual pictures linking the bird cult and the anthropomorphic pillars, showing that Easter Island, Tiwanaku, and Göbekli Tepe all have the exact same art. So this is in 2021 where I shared all this material. 2022, I did full videos on it. So, but it's all over the place now. And it could have been one person taking it, not citing me, and then turn around, everybody else took it from them. It could be as simple as that too. I'll admit that. But just remember, you saw right here on Archaix, the true reason Easter Island no longer exists. They've been telling us all along. So if you're having a bad day, remember that we unloaded 6,000 bricks at the wrong address. Man, do I feel their pain. When I saw this meme, I cracked up because I used to be a stone worker. That used to be my avocation. Listen, it's walk on this instant of Kutub. I love Kutub. Third Space. I love Kutub. That's my favorite poem. I got a whole video on Kutub. You need to go see if you don't know what Third Space is talking about. They were telling it. He was telling us the truth. Andrew Chumley. All right. If you were having a bad day, remember that we unloaded 6,000 bricks at the wrong address. Do you have any idea what a nightmare that is? And look at those bricks. Man, that's heavy work. So literally, you unloaded them at the wrong address. That means your entire workday was effed off. Because now you have to reload them, which is going to take a whole day, maybe more than one day. Then you got to transport them and unload them again at the right address. Yeah, that's a real bad day, man. It's a real bad day. When you're on your third reincarnation and you still haven't been born into a wealthy family, this is what you're going to look like. There are so many people, especially in healthcare, that have told us stories that they just suspect a lot of times when these babies are first born, it's like they know. They don't have the vocal apparatus. They can't communicate and talk to us, but the look in a lot of babies' eyes is a look of intelligence. And that over a period of weeks or months or whatever, it starts to go, and then once puberty takes over, at 9, 10, 11, or 12 or whatever, that's when all memory whatsoever of previous lifetimes is totally gone. Here's the angels up in heaven looking down on our world as it is right now. The hell you say? I ain't going down there right now. That's how crazy Earth is. That's the NASA version of heaven and Earth. The hell you say? So it's really interesting that the Epstein files has even isolated some of these preachers, some of these spiritual leaders that were going to Epstein Island too. But the Epstein cult, they didn't need to lure in these televangelists. The reason they didn't, I'm going to show another picture of them, is first of all, Joel Osteen down here is Jewish. This guy down here in the left, right, who's been hoodwinking the Houstonians for a long time. But this is Kenneth Copeland, straight demonically evil. Look, people have been in Kenneth Copeland's presence and they literally felt dirty. Yeah, there's a lot. I think this is John Hagee. I'm not sure. But anyway, the televangelists are the worst. They are the worst. You have an idea how you got sick? Yeah, watching the news. Man, that shit's real. That shit's so real. Oh, I would love to send Hannibal Lecter down into the dumbs right before 2040. When the food runs out, we'll still have each other. Yeah, man. Send old Billy down there. Yeah, man. When the food runs out, we'll still have each other. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Anthony Hopkins has always been a fantastic. He's a fantastic actor, and because of all the roles that he has played, you know what? He may just be as evil as the person he plays. When you find out that the earth is flat and everything you were taught is a lie. Look, she's all messed up. This is 6 months later. I'm a simulationist guy, so I don't really get caught in the details. I just know we're not on a globe 93 million miles away from the sun going at a great speed. I know all that's BS. That whole entire heliocentric model is totally BS. The sun is just like the moon. It is local. In the entire history, the entire historical record and all the anomalies make total sense with a local sun, but not with the sun 93 million miles away. That's why all these uniformitarians get triggered when they start hearing about all these cataclysms that are well documented in the historical record. And I read off all these ancient writers and what they said happened, and people say, that's bullshit. If that really happened and the sun zigzagged like that and took off, the whole crust of the world would be ripped off and shoved out into space. Yeah. In your uniformitarian serial box model of the world, that's true. That's why they educated you that way. But when you're dealing with a stellosphere and all motion is in the sky and not on the ground, things change. It's a total game changer. We are at war with an invisible enemy. Yep. This dude right here, man, he's like a template. It's like all the popes have this certain look. Looks just like this guy. They all have this certain look. Maybe y'all can educate me. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. But they all look the same. They all look the same to me. 13 days of preparation, occult significance of April 19th to May 1st. So when I saw this, I was thinking maybe we need to start paying attention to the historical record and start paying attention to this period of time. This is a illustration of Molech. Now, I told you that some of the things in this video might disturb you, and this is going to be one of those things. What a lot of people don't know is that the old bronze statues of Molech, there was a fire put underneath those hands. The hands would get red hot, and then they would remove the fire. And then the sacrifices, which were babies that were brought to sacrifice to Molech, were dropped into the cup. The hands formed a bowl, and it was red hot. It was red hot bronze. And they beat drums and they blew instruments. They didn't have trumpets back. Trumpets aren't that old. So even though the Bible, this is another thing about the book of Exodus, showing that it must be written in the 5th or 4th century BC, because it could not have been an accurate rendition of a story that happened in the 13th or 14th century BC. And it's because Moses and the Israelites had trumpets, and archaeologists know trumpets weren't even invented yet. It would be another 1,000 years before trumpets came around. So anyway, they would blow instruments and they would blow all kinds of different deals, and they would beat their drums, and all the people would scream to Yahweh. I mean, these are Jews. They would all scream to Yahweh their praises, so they couldn't hear the screams of the babies. This is actual Molech worship. It's in a place right over there. Yeah, right there, called Palestine. It's where Jerusalem is. This is what they did, and they did it for a very long period of time. Remember the scapegoat. Remember the whole scapegoat ideology. They're gonna tell you all day long, no, that wasn't us. That was Canaanites. That was Canaanite. No. You scapegoated the Canaanites. Yeah, you did exactly what you basically took over a whole culture, adopted all their practices, started doing that, and then so you won't be guilty of it, you still blame them when you copied exactly what they did. So it's yeah, I want to go through the historical record now every year, and I want to see what significant events happened in between April 19th and May 1st. This is on my radar now. I didn't know that this was a major preparation. I want to see what other festivals, maybe warlock and witch related, satanic, whatever Jewish festivals. I want to see what's going on this part of the year every year now. Want to see what's happening now that I've seen this. People who are too afraid to call out their corrupt government will call out their neighbors for breaking corrupt government dictates. That's right. It's right. To prove their loyalty to the corrupt government. And that's how scared child types react to corruption. They side with it because they're too weak to speak out. Every neighborhood has these people. Every neighborhood has these people who they're not just weak, but they're hypocrites. Every neighbor has these individuals who in order to preserve themselves, they will sell out the whole neighborhood to law enforcement. That's every neighbor. You got. I don't have to tell you. Yeah. And what's crazy about it is this character type is the character type of those who are asleep, and then they're forced to wake up. And when they wake up and realize that everybody has had their best interest and everybody has been telling them the truth all along, they're not thankful. They hate them. So what do? In an act of self-preservation, they go ahead and tell the bad guys what the good guys have been doing, so they'll be protected from the bad guys. Yeah. Every neighborhood has these people. They're effed up. A skydiver's chute fails to open, and the dude dies of COVID-19. This is 2020 and 2021. Oh, it wasn't just parachutes. Yeah. Coroners reports all over the world. You would not believe coroners and doctors how much they were paid just to put it on the paperwork that COVID-19 was the cause of death. Doesn't matter how somebody died, they were putting COVID-19 on everything. Hi, I'm T. Keith Glennon, the first administrator of NASA. Before I worked there, I worked at Paramount Pictures. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Do you guys know about Paramount Pictures? Well, Maybe some of you do if you've read the Book of Enoch. I'll show it to you. I have another meme in here about Paramount Pictures. Just remember you saw this meme. The very first administrator of NASA about space came from Paramount Pictures. And remember, I told you Paramount Pictures is connected to the Book of Enoch. So we'll get to that one in a minute. Imagine, if you will, the planet awakening and experiencing a shifting consciousness so great that governments around the world conduct psychological warfare on their own citizens in an attempt to control them by lowering their vibrations and keeping them in a constant state of fear. Wow. I used to love watching Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone was so good. Twilight Zone was the best, man. People don't realize how hard it is to speak the truth in a world full of people that don't realize they're living a lie. This is an excellent meme. It's an excellent meme to draw attention to a question that I'm asked all the time. I'm asked this question all the time. It frustrates the shit out of me because I have to answer it all the time. When we talk about living, we live in a construct underneath a holographic sky, a stellosphere on a fixed earth that does not move. The uniformitarian automatically goes to, well, why would they lie? And then I have to run through NASA. Okay, well, NASA, operating costs, man. Every quarter they get multiple billions of dollars, right? Okay, yeah, okay. For what? They're not sending anything into space. Satellites are bullshit. They're all just a bunch of things suspended on helium balloons. Where's all this money really going? We're not talking about millions. We're not talking about hundreds of millions. We're talking about billions quarterly going into NASA for what? To pay about 20 guys to produce CGI images and then flood social media with them? They can do that with less than a $1 million budget. Where is all this money going if they're not actually sending anybody into space? They can't get past the radon belt. It's all a lie. So why would they lie? Why does anybody lie? Money. It's a tremendous amount of money going into NASA. And then NASA is nothing but an intelligence agency, and it's a money laundering firm. And all they do is just send that money to all these black ops projects that we're not even allowed to know about. Yeah, man. In a world full of people that don't even realize they're living a lie. You're living a lie, man. You're living a lie every time you go to a museum and you walk around, man. Look at all these big old giant creatures, man. It's all bullshit. You're living an absolute lie, and you'll defend it to your death because this is what you were programmed to believe because you're not a free thinker. You don't think for yourself. You've given that over to your government. I'm not against the government just taking over people's lives. I'm not against it. I'm all for the government just coming in. If you're so enamored with the government control, with government controlling your finances, telling you what to do, maybe living in 15-minute cities, if you're willing to sacrifice your freedoms for security, I'm all for you enjoying the very life that you've envisioned government can give you. I'm all for it. But when those 15-minute cities become concentration camps, and then you start hearing dark rumors about how people have been eaten alive, you start hearing about people disappearing, you start hearing about trains going into the wilderness to other facilities, and that everybody on board was screaming because they know where they're really going. When you start hearing all these dark, nefarious things, please don't send me a phone call or a text crying about your situation. When we spent years trying to warn you, if the government comes up and rounds up a whole bunch of people because they signed the contract and they're willing to go, I'm all for you going. But don't ask for my help in the future when I've spent so much of my life and expended so much of my finances trying to educate you about what's really going on. This is a contract-based reality. Be very careful what you agree to. This is what's going on. And I'm not going to have, and nor are my contemporaries, and nor are the people in the chat ever going to have an infinite amount of energy to try and wake you stupid effers up. There's going to come a point in time where we just say, you know what, man? You're right. You're absolutely right. And you go F off. And you take your family. And you do all that stuff. And then other people who think they're awake are going to go to McDonald's and are probably going to be eating some of your DNA a little bit later. Go do what you want to do. If the government is your friend, be friendly with it. but there's going to come, I'm not obligated nor responsible to continue to try to wake you up. I'm not here to save the world, and neither are you. I just went on a tangent. I taste bad. Oh, it's funny. Somebody said I taste bad. That's that. The reason I'm laughing is because I recently had somebody tell me, Jason, I taste so good. I'm not even going to tell you who told me that. He said, somebody said, Jason, I taste so good. Oh, somebody triggered me. That meme triggered me, didn't it? Yeah, it did. You're not going to wake anybody up anymore. Wow, I didn't even put that there. That's crazy how that one happened. We're basically at the end game. Yeah, man. I don't have the energy nor the willpower anymore. I'm all about my community and anybody who wants to join the community. I'm all about, man, giving you the business, telling you what's going on. But that's a micro community. It's not even going to affect most of the outside world. I'm all for creating that community of souls, because introducing too many outsiders into the community is introducing unnecessary toxicities. Because some of these people are never going to wake up, and all they're going to do is bring problems. And they're going to waste my time with me trying to convince them things they should have already learned on their own. I shouldn't have to be the one to tell you these things. Most of my community already knows. They just like being reminded, like this video, but they already know these things. But it's getting to the point where I don't want to wake anybody up, man. Stay asleep, do what you want, end up in a Happy Meal. I don't care. Leave me alone. I'm just tired of it, man. It's just, you're just not going to wake up you're not going to wake anybody up anymore. When everything you've been predicting came true in a week, and people are still calling you a conspiracy theorist. The CIA did a number on us when they created that term, conspiracy theorist. Yeah, man. This dude played an awesome movie. He's Jewish. So was everybody on that cast. Everybody on that cast was Jewish except the black guy. But it was still a hilarious movie. The End of the World. Yeah, man. This is the End, I think is the name of the movie. So good. It's such a hilarious movie. Yeah, man. Oh, I got triggered. Let's see. Uh-oh. It's getting like a creepy movie. Pay attention. Evacuating residents of a building across the street. It's a housing complex for low-income, elderly, and handicapped. This is New York City. So it's not on the news, and that's what's really concerning. Guys, this is happening in major cities all over the world. The elderly who are forgotten, homeless people, find buildings. They find areas to congregate. These buildings are specifically there for them to do that in. And then every 2 or 3 years, this happens. And they're put on these medical barge ships. Sometimes they're put on transits like this, and they just disappear. And no one knows where the hell they go. This is serious shit. This should have been on the news, telling people what's going on, but they kept it hush-hush. And it's not the only one. It's so many times that this has happened. I'm telling you, man, you better watch Soylent Green. This shit's real, man. This shit is real. That's a lot of people just being loaded up and taken away. If people evolved from apes, why are there still apes? It's a pretty good question. Even the apes laughing. Let's see here. Fucking chat's out of control, man. A Florida man has died from coronavirus after being eaten by an alligator. Dude kept a straight face. He even shows a picture of the alligator up here. Look, there's a picture of the alligator up here. This is not bullshitting right here. This moron kept a straight face. A Florida man has died from coronavirus after being eaten by an alligator. We are all being played. Divide and conquer. If they keep us fighting with each other, we will never fight the true enemy, the establishment. Divide and conquer mechanisms. Skin color, nationality, sexual identity, religion, language, profession, class, social customs, political identity. You know all the tools in their toolbox. Tony Sayers right here, he was wrong about this. Tony Sayers was wrong about this, about the lockdown being permanent. Only essential businesses will be allowed. You guys remember back in 2021, I released videos about the whole COVID-19 lockdown deal, and I was telling everybody, the whole world's talking about this is the new normal. I know many of my veterans remember this because I was very critical of a lot of people. I was telling people, so man, listen, quit listening to all these people, man, with this doom saying. I did the calendrics on it, and I showed my community, man, this stuff's not going to last 18 months. All these lockdowns are not permanent. They're going to open the restaurants back up. They're going to open up all the malls. They're going to open up all. You're going to go back to travel. You can go back to visit national parks, wherever you want to do. Everything's going to return to normalcy in about 18 months. And it did. But there was a period of time in 2020 and 2021 when you had YouTube and social media on fire with everybody talking about that this is the new normal. This is the democratic socialist takeover. This is how they're going to do it. It's just going to get worse and worse from here. And it didn't happen. Archaix for the win on that one. Did have a lot of trolls attacking me back then, though. So you're telling me if I violate the stay-at-home order, I can be arrested? But you are letting people out of jail so they don't get the coronavirus? I love that common sense type shit. I love the look on his face, too. Like, man, shut your dumb ass up. It's great. Did you know that there is a saint by the name of Corona? She is the saint of plagues and infectious diseases. She is also to be worshipped from March until May. Her feast is May 14th. And that is when the Pope has a global educational alliance meeting with world leaders on how to re-educate the youth of the entire world. Corona, a saint of the church of disease. That moment when you realize that your tinfoil hat wearing friend was right about everything. There you go. Woody Harrelson is the perfect guy to play this tinfoil hat wearing idiot. He's the perfect. One of my favorite movies with John Cusack right here. This is John Cusack. One of my favorite movies with him. And y'all let me know in the chat if y'all have seen the movie. But for some reason, I really liked his role in Point Blank. Point Blank was a badass movie to me. I really liked it. I like Woody Harrelson too. Fucking dumbasses. If prayer worked, ambulances would take patients to churches. That's right. That's a pretty dark topic. I know there's still a lot of Christians triggered by hearing about the prayer deal. I'm still very adamant about it. We make our own reality, and the oversoul will always agree to our terms. The problem is the modern Christian is basically trained from the inception of their faith to give that power away to an outside force. When that outside force, the oversoul, has always, I mean, everything Jesus said, man, every time somebody was healed, some people reached out and touched Jesus. Sometimes Jesus touched other people. But in every incident, Jesus rebuked people because people would praise him for healing them. And he said, man, by your faith, you were healed. Yeah, man, he said, by your word, you were healed. It was by your actions, you were healed. Jesus always rebuked others when they gave him praise for healing them. The power was in them all along. Remember, we draw from ourselves more than we contain. Jesus knew, but modern day Christians, they've totally lost it. They have totally gone off the rails on their own spirituality. And it's sad. It really is sad. But yeah, there's hundreds of millions of people have been praying for a cure for cancer. You would think hundreds of millions of prayers would have overthrown the Rockefeller established medical procedures that actually create cancer, perpetuate cancer, and the cures like chemotherapy that kill people who are trying to be cured from cancer. You would have thought that all those prayers would have undone that, but they didn't, and they can't, because these people are literally giving up their power to an outside source and hoping the outside source does something internally within them. It can't happen that way. It'll never happen that way. It's crazy. You can't be both a divine being and a victim at the same time. It's impossible. COVID-19 pandemic. Still not a single faith healer has dared to lay hands on the sick and dying in the hospitals. Yeah, man. Kenneth Copeland. Yeah, you've blown on people. And people all of a sudden healed in your church. Yeah, all those people that you shared that pirate money in that offering plate that day. Yeah, y'all all agreed to do all that little skit in Pentecostal churches where the deacon shoves somebody back, and you think they're having everybody's just playing their role. Stupid. So dumb. I still need to have that shirt. Big John, if you're listening, I still need that shirt made for our Shopify site. It's so dumb. That's my catchphrase in Archaix. So dumb. But yeah, man, where's Kenneth Copeland? Why didn't he go? Why didn't Joel Osteen, the same dude who locked his church out so Hurricane Beryl victims couldn't find a good place to go? Yeah, real Christian, John Osteen, Joel Osteen. Osteen, yeah, it's a joke on us. So we have same thing. Why didn't Joel Osteen go into the hospitals, man? You're so full of the spirit. Yeah, man. Go put your hands on those people and cure them. Man, this is getting so real. Man, I'm going to the store. Do you want anything? That's me right there. I got a setup that looks almost just like that. I literally have, I can leather all out from a motorcycle, and I got different types of helmets and masks that look just like this. I got all kinds of yeah. You know what? I need to find one that looks just like that gas mask. I will wear a gas mask on my motorcycle. Trip people out. That would be hilarious. Uh-oh. There's a baby again. Damn, I hate Earth. I'm never going back to that shithole. It's 9 months later. 9 months later, man. Came right back. Me, love Jack Nicholson. Me, watching all my friends slowly radicalize and start to question where the government gets the authority to shut society down overnight. Yeah, he's always had the greatest facial expressions too. You got to be a little bit close to the edge to be able to play somebody so neurotic. You got to be a little bit there. You got to be a little bit there yourself. Jesse Ventura deserves a whole quote. This is where we're at right now. We are entering this period right now. Wait till I get to the Pike-Mazzini quote, because so many of you got it wrong. Yeah, man. So I'm seeing it all over social media, man. Everybody thinks it's the fall of the West, and now, man, you got it wrong. The Third World War was not to do that. It was to do something very specific, and the Epstein files has got the ball rolling. So, a word to the 1%. This is Jesse Ventura, my boy. You control our world. You've poisoned the air we breathe, contaminated the water we drink, and copyrighted the food we eat. Hold on, I might need to say it like him. We fight your wars, die for your causes, and sacrifice our freedoms to protect you. You've liquidated our savings, destroyed our middle class, and used our tax dollars to bail out our unending greed. We are slaves to your corporations. I can't do it. I can't do it. Zombies to your airwaves, servants to your decadence. You've stolen our elections, assassinated our leaders, and abolished our basic rights as human beings. You own our property, shipped away our jobs, and shredded our unions. You've profited off disease, destabilized our currencies, and raised our cost of living. You've monopolized our freedom, stripped away our education, and have almost extinguished our flame. We are hit We are bleeding, but we ain't got time to bleed. We will bring the giants to their knees, and you will witness our revolution. Jesse Ventura. Gotta love that man. Jesse, anytime you want to come on Archaix, man, you're more than welcome to come over here, man, and say it better than I did. Yeah, man. Uh-oh. A man eaten by a shark dies from coronavirus. Pelosi blames Trump. Man, it's terrible. This is just the weird clown world that we were living in. This may be parody. Of course it's parody, but still, it exemplifies just how the high strangeness that we've entered in since 2020. Here's a good one right here. If you believe that the light that illuminates this landscape is the light of the sun reflected on a rock covered in dust, congratulations. Your level of brainwashing and indoctrination is 100% effective. That's right. That's absolutely right. I have another meme I'm going to show you too about the moon. The moon provides its own illumination. It is not reflected sunlight. It is an illusion. It is holographic, and it is specifically designed in, phases of the moon to make us believe that it's reflecting sunlight, even though it's not. The illumination coming off the moon is a dark light. It is a cold light. It is not like solar light at all. History's biggest smartass. Triboulet, a notorious jester for Louis the 12th. I don't think that's the Spider King. I think that was Louis the 11th. I can't remember. The jester for Louis the 12th and Francis the First once slapped the king on the butt, which greatly angered him. But then he was given a chance to be forgiven if he could think of something more clever. So he said, "I am so sorry. I mistook you for the queen." When he was sentenced to death for making fun of people, he was allowed to choose how he would die. So he chose to die of old age. The speechless king let him go. So if you really like these little anecdotes, these little historical stories like here, you should read Robert Greene. I've read his 3 most important books: The 48 Laws of Power, The 33 Strategies of War, and there's another one. The most important one, I can't remember. I've read all 3 of them. The 48 Laws of Power, The 33 Strategies of War, and there's another one I'm forgetting. But he based all 3 of them off another author that I've read named Balthazar Gracian, The Art of Worldly Wisdom, which is way before Robert Greene. But Robert Greene quoted Balthazar Gracian in all 3 of his books. Man, what is that book called? Somebody's going to say it. It's The 48 Laws of Power, The 33 Strategies of War, and there's a 3rd book. But they're full of historical anecdotes just like this. Just like this. I drew this a while back. Damn. Here's 2020, the first seal, first horseman, Apollo Pharmakia is the first beast. Apollo Pharmakia, this is the white horseman. It is the pharmaceutical worlds that attack the human family. Second seal, second horseman, second beast. This is the red horseman that takes peace from the earth. That's the effect that this horseman is supposed to do, is to take peace from the earth. And it's been happening with all the knife attacks and all these different communities of the immigration problems. Now the Epstein deals is taking peace from the earth. Letting you know what children are going through in underground dungeons and what the elite are really doing in these ceremonies and rituals and all that. That takes peace from people. All this, man, it's a symbol. Yeah, and the symbol isn't a great sword. Like the original Greek is machiera. It's an assassin's knife. It's a short blade. It's not a long sword. Like the Judeo-Christian interpretation has a great sword. It's not what it says. In the Greek, it's like a small arms warfare knife, but it's like a sacrificial knife. So it's very relevant. So, but we're halfway in between. See, 2024 and 2028, we're halfway in between. We're in the second seal period right now. We're halfway in between this. Yeah, man. Moving on up, Six Seals, the Phoenix. We now live in a nation where doctors destroy health, lawyers destroy justice, universities destroy knowledge, governments destroy freedom, and the press destroys information, and our banks destroy the economy. Everything I've told you over and over and over, everything here is the exact opposite of the way it should be. Everything. Yeah, I'm gonna agree and disagree with you about the 48 Laws of Power was a horrid read. It is absolutely packed with historical anecdotes that show each of the 48 laws in how the elite really control us. Yeah, I can see why you would say it's a horrid book, but it's also extremely educational. Oh, we've already seen this. We've already seen the video. So this is a photo of the hole created by a steel framed or aluminum framed military bomber. Did you guys know that in 1945 a U.S. military bomber flew right into the Empire State Building? Tallest building in New York in the world was in New York City, the Empire State Building. And because of low fog clouds, a military bomber hit the building. This is all it did. These buildings are designed to take a hit like that, just like at 9/11. People don't realize the World Trade Center, those buildings were specifically structurally designed to take a hit from a Boeing 737. Yeah, man. Yeah. The building didn't fall down in 1945. More than 5 eggs per week can be dangerous for your health. Maggie DeBlock. This is a clown world. You're looking at a minister of health. This is a clown world. The self-culling herd is the eugenicist dream. Absolutely. Absolutely. What I just tell you, I said, man, I'm getting to the point where I'm not trying to wake you up anymore. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you about somewhere you want to be. You want to be under the government's absolute protection. You want to feel safe. So you're willing to give up all these rights, privileges, and immunities and rely on the government when the government has a 100-year history of lying to you, gaslighting you. I'm talking about everything is just screwing you over, increasing your taxes, taxing taxes, putting taxes on taxes that are taxed, and you deserve anything that happens to you at that point. Just the way I feel about it. 1960s, oil gone in 10 years. 1970s, another ice age in 10 years. 1980s, acid rain will destroy all crops in 10 years. 1990s, the ozone layer will be gone in 10 years. 2000, ice caps will be gone in 10 years. Nothing happened, but every one of these resulted in higher taxes because we had to protect the environment. Look at this. This guy, he never mandated the jab. This guy, well, he's only fast tracking the beast system to expose it. It's such gaslighting. This one, if you can't see how AI tracking and vaccines are a 5D chess move to catch the bad guys, you're blind. Yeah, this is the Patriot pacificationist agents that I've been telling you about all over YouTube for the past 5 years. I've been calling out all these Patriot pacification agents. Here they are. This is exactly what they do. 5D. Trump is a moron. He can't play regular chess. I promise you he can't play regular chess, much less 5D chess. Man, it's so crazy. The key to understanding the moon landing hoax is to realize that it is not scientific deception, it is spiritual deception. Symbolism is important. The NASA logo includes the forked tongue of a serpent to symbolize that it is under the control of the great serpent. Satan. The serpent never speaks the truth. Isn't that interesting how that forked tongue is there? Never noticed that, huh? We never questioned why that red slash goes through NASA like that. And that NASA is Hebrew to deceive. Did you know that? Here's something really, really disturbing. No one was found dead at home from COVID-19. Everyone died while they were in the hospital. Let that sink in. Yeah, because they gave everybody the wrong treatment. Instead of giving them the correct treatment, they put them on respirators. The respirators killed them. So crazy. We squint at the sun because it is bright. We squint at people because they are not. It's so true. Oh, there it is. Easter Island. Easter Island should be a lesson to us all. Elon Musk, Starship, he said this in 2024. No, excuse me. No, he said this 12 years ago, 13 years ago, because this is March 2024. Yeah, Starship will be on Mars within 5 years. He said that 13 years ago. They tell us, they'll tell us anything. So you know that, in Armenia, 1.5 million Armenian Christians were killed by the Turkish Jews. A lot of people don't know about this history. It's right before the Bolsheviks started killing 26 million. Then it ended up being 60 million white Russian Christians. The Bolsheviks did that before World War I. Well, in World War II, a lot of people don't know, man, that Mao's whole cabinet were all Jewish. And it's one of the greatest exterminations of mankind. How many people in China were absolutely exterminated by this Chinese guy right here, but his cabinet was all Jewish. Imagine that. The first one named is Israel Epstein. How long has this been going on? So with Wales being 95% white, Ireland being 95% white, England being 85% white, Scotland is 96% white, then you can pretty much say that the people in the UK are the most non-racist people in the world, because look at the leaders they elected. Yeah, man. It's so crazy. And I mean, the people of England, right now they got a whole new party rising up. It like rose up almost overnight, man. It's a nationalist party, and man, listen, man, it looks like the Islamic immigrants might be in trouble in the UK, but it looks like the UK is getting fed up with shit. And you know what? I don't know what's going to happen. But they can thank Oliver Cromwell for introducing this problem, because this problem here of having foreign nationals ruling over your country it goes back to, the rights, privileges, and immunities that Oliver Cromwell extended foreigners when they came into England and began to own the English people. Full disclosure, 2024, Mark Wahlberg. I never would have imagined that Mark Wahlberg would be the man he declined a $30 million opportunity to star alongside Tom Hanks. He's stating, I'll pray for his soul, but I won't work with him. I didn't know Mark Wahlberg was one of the good guys. But man, I got much respect for that dude now. I wouldn't want to be with this pedo either. Yeah, Tom Hanks all through the Epstein files. Tom Hanks is a Rockefeller. Didn't know that, did you? You think his role on Splash, what was in the 1980s that got him famous, was an accident? No. The very next movie after Splash has some real sinister pedo shit in it. It's all in the neck. It's a movie that it's hard to find it now. I was on X yesterday and people were posting images from that movie, but it's a movie you can't even remember the name for. It's so insignificant. But Tom Hanks and Jim Belushi and this girl were all in this movie. It's a movie that was made right after Splash. A young Tom Hanks, and there's some real pizza and pedo shit all through the movie. Nobody knew back then. Didn't know what to look for. They were throwing it in people's faces back then, man. Can't remember the name of that movie. I mean, with a Google search, you guys will be able to find it real fast. Real fast. 2 objects in focus. So somebody took this picture and blew it up, and it's impossible that an object 7 miles high and then an object further away, which is 239,000 miles away, and one of them should be blurry. One of them should be blurry, but both of them are in focus. The moon is holographic. It will always present itself as what you expect it to look like. Things that make you go hum. So, more than 25 years since the ISS, the International Space Station, entered orbit, and more than 100 eclipses in those 25 years, and not a single video of those eclipses filmed from the International Space Station. Why, if we have space stations and satellites with cameras in orbit, if that's true, why would you not take the opportunity to film one of the most majestic incidents in nature? You had 100 chances to film eclipses and you never filmed one of them. Why? The Ouija board. Not a portal to talk to the dead. It's an open door to demons who impersonate the dead. I've been saying this since I was a kid, though, about the Ouija board. I said, you're not talking to the dead. You're talking to demons or spiritual entities that are masquerading as the dead. There, you are not actually talking to someone who has passed on. Okay, so little Alice in Wonderland. What do we have here? There's Alice. There's the Cheshire Cat. What do we have here? Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here? Here's the cat. You're shifting from parallel reality to parallel reality billions of times per second. Decide what reality you prefer, said the cat. The way you shift to the world you prefer with the energy you prefer is to be that energy you prefer is to be that energy yourself first. Whatever vibrational state you choose to be in is going to ultimately be the parallel earth that you will experience. Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, that's how I look at them too. When grown men start talking about space travel. Shut your ass up. Shut your dumb beep up. So crazy. I like the architect. If there is one positive we can take away from this entire COVID hoax, it's the way it has exposed all the evil people we didn't even know were there. Doctors, nurses, police, academics, friends, family, people who we thought we could trust. It's all in the open now. Isn't that the truth? Remember all the nurses and all the doctors and technicians dancing and all that? This was all part of a ritual. See, rituals charge the field, which creates energy that stays in suspension in the field. I've explained this. If you guys really want a good understanding of this huge COVID ritual, I've got 2 videos that decode the 2012 London Olympics, where they literally showed us the future going into COVID, the whole COVID-19 deal, the lockdowns. It's all in there. The dancing they did in that ceremony was a ritual. The participants were the observers that charged the field. This energy was in the field all the way to 2019 and 2020 when it was discharged. But there must be a triggering mechanism in order for the construct to understand when to discharge this deceptive energy. The energy was stored in the field for years, and it was built by different cinema, movies, expectations, and all this. The elite know exactly what they're doing. This is all field dynamics. COVID just took the world by storm, unleashed, and it was so powerfully convincing to a lot of people. And it's because how the ritual was discharged. It was so uncanny. You remember how creepy you felt when you were watching videos of nurses dancing in hospitals? There's over 200 documented incidents where this was choreographed in hospitals all over the United States and in Europe. This isn't some accident. This is the discharging of stored energy in the field. It was dancing that charged the field in the 2012 Olympic ceremonies and other Olympic ceremonies. And it's dancing, it's moving the avatar, replicating a series of events and ritual, and each one of those body movements has been highly choreographed and ritualized to perform a function in charging the field. And those dances must be used in order to release that charge. And this is what people dying in all these hospitals. Remember, COVID-19, people didn't die at home. They didn't die at home. They died when they got put on respirators in the hospitals, especially the elderly. So, yeah, man, this is so crazy. It's so crazy. All those nurses and all stuff dancing. And all the doctors hospitals were paid $48,000 for every single death. You know, when they announced the death, if they put on the paperwork that COVID-19, they can actually say the truth. They weren't told to lie. Oh no, if they really died of something, put it on there, but also put COVID-19 so we can use in our statistics. They got paid $48,000 every time. Hospitals did every time. And then you don't think the doctors didn't get kickbacks for doing that? Of course they did. And the doctors, in order to suppress and hide different shit, you don't think they managed their floors like an intelligence agency, and they had their head nurses. Some of them, they may have been boning in the closet or whatever, but they had head nurses that helped them police the other nurses and other nurse technicians and get everybody on board. Every single hospital essentially was turned vicariously into an intelligence apparatus, and nurses were fired for speaking out all over the nation, while other nurses took that extra money and did dances and choreography and all that. They involved the pharmaceutical companies. It was the breaking of the first seal. The white horseman with the bow, a toxon, was what attacked the human family. Our own pharmaceutical companies. We can never forget. We can't let that go, that these doctors, nurses, they were all complicit. Every one of them were complicit. 0 Amish children diagnosed with cancer, autism, heart failure. Isn't that interesting? I'm a pretty healthy guy too, guys. There's a reason for that. I didn't get my birth certificate till I was 5 years old. So my original name, my parents were named Durant and Wyndham. I was adopted by the Brashears. I was 5 years old. I was born in a bathtub in Old Town Spring, right here north of Houston. Back then it was in the country. I was born in a bathtub, and my mom was really young, and she was scared. She was scared and terrified of the pain. So we had an old Mexican man who did these sedation births. So he used a drug to sedate her, and I was born in warm water in a bathtub. And I wasn't given shots. I wasn't given inoculations. I wasn't given vaccines. I wasn't given anything. And I was raised in a time period where it wasn't mandatory. In the 70s when I was going to school, and in the early 80s when I was going to school, it wasn't mandatory for me to get shots and all that. And all you had to do is get paperwork from your mom and dad saying you weren't going to take them. So I pretty much lived my whole life without getting all the shots a lot of people born in the United States got. And maybe that has something to do with my memory. Maybe it has something to do with my ability to collate a tremendous amount of data and organize it into a presentable format verbally so people can understand and process things that normally they wouldn't be able to process because they haven't read this technical material. I don't know where I get this gift from, but I have it. And the only common denominator I can think is I've never been really jabbed. So I don't know. It's just a theory, guys. But I have seen the research on this word here and how it's linked so much. Yeah, man. I used to follow Jenna McCarthy. Jenna McCarthy was real vocal about that too. I think they ended up paying her a bunch of money to shut her up. She used to be super vocal about that. So if you think these sun's rays were cast from 93 million miles away, you probably failed geometry. Yep. I've shown a bunch of pictures on my channel of this too, showing the sun's local. Many people are not aware of the fact that African slavery was not Dutch, that the Opium Wars were not English, and that communism was not Russian, and even the mafia is not Italian. It was all Jewish. Yeah. Most people know this now. I'm not educating you on something you don't already know. It's all out now. And the world isn't getting worse or darker. The veil sheltering you from reality is lifting. What is it called? It's called apocalypse. What does apocalypse mean? It really means to remove the veil. Apocalyption, to remove the covering. That's what apocalypse means. To see clearly. It's a lot easier to tell yourself you're a hero than it is to realize that you've been complicit in the biggest fraud in history. It's sad. A lot of them that spoke out got fired. A lot of others just quit when they saw what was going on. Yeah, man. And there may have been a few who even stayed in the industry to help do as much as good as they could, even though they saw all the evil that was going on. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. The healthcare industry is massive. It's gigantic. Not everybody was involved, but the people at the highest level certainly were. Trickling on down to those they trusted the most certainly were. So Boeing 787, subsonic. A MiG-25, Foxbat is supersonic. The international fake station is Masonic. Oh, some things just tickle me to death. Things that we've accepted to be true, man. The dude on the left is constantly triggered by the news. He's so unhappy. I tell you guys all the time, the news is nothing but it's entertainment. The guy on the right, he knows the news is a show and he enjoys his life. Absolutely. Look, honey, it's Project Bluebeam. Here comes Jesus. Here comes Jesus. It's like CERN. It's a meme I shared the other day. CERN decides to go ahead and crank it up a notch, and it's a plot twist. They open up a portal, but it's Jesus coming out, and all the doctors are running. Oh man, it's a damn plot twist. It's crazy how none of these taste good anymore. How many of you are like me in that respect? Be honest with yourselves. How many of you in the chat walk down the grocery store aisle now? I mean, there's whole aisles I don't even go anymore. Guys, I can't even eat processed foods anymore. I literally get sick. Yeah, my whole body feels awful, terrible. I get terrible bile. Yeah, man, I cannot eat processed food anymore. My body's been so clean for like a year and a half now. Ever since, remember when I did the carnivore diet for about 40 days? And then I stayed on a carnivore diet for like 6 months, but I started eating broccoli and asparagus and stuff like that. Listen, guys, I'm free of processed foods. I've never felt better. But man, about 2 months ago, I had some visitors. And it was kind of a shock. I was like, damn, man, you guys haven't eaten breakfast yet? I would have assumed you'd have eaten breakfast when you came over here. So I said, you know what? I'm going to town. It takes me about a good 12 minutes to get there. I'm going to get town because there is a deli. And I never go there. But I have visitors, and they said they're cool with pastries and all that stuff. So I go into there's the Asians running this place. And I go in there, and everything looks and smells delicious. And I get it all. Listen, guys, I am not exaggerating. I tried to eat some of it. So I pulled out one of the cinnamon rolls with the glaze on it and stuff, and it had some other toppings on it, and I tried to eat it. And I feel like I'm chewing on pure chemicals. None of the wonderful memories from the 1970s and 80s of eating all these delicious foods. I have, listen, 26 years of imprisonment, guys, is nothing to brag about. You know this. But I have to constantly remind you because it puts things into context. I can remember the 70s and 80s better than most people because I have a dark window on my life of nothing but concrete and steel. And my memory from those times was situational. What was I going through? What was the climate in there? And what was I reading at the time? And what was I listening to on the radio? So I remember the 80s. I remember food. I remember the taste of, oh man, you could eat Shipley's donuts, they'd melt in your mouth. I remember pizza, Domino's pizza in the 1980s melted in your mouth. It was delicious. I remember going to like Kentucky Fried Chicken, eating chicken. It was delicious. Everything had very distinct taste. I took bites out of about 3 different donuts and pastries. They all tasted the same, and there was a terrible chemical type deal. So I Googled. About 2 days later, I'm online looking at stuff, and I could not believe what I was reading. It's what they have patented all these petrochemicals and labeled them as foods. They're not food at all. Your body can't even process the shit. It goes out. Yeah, it does terrible things to your innards and body, and you ended up peeing it and shitting it out. But they've literally put this in our foods. It's congealed petrochemicals that they add dyes to for coloring, and this is what's replaced all the real cinnamons and brown sugars and cane sugars and all the things that were in everything that we ate in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and maybe even some of the 90s. But now, when you go to these delis that have all these donuts and all this stuff, it's chemical. It is absolutely disgusting. Yeah. So I'm so selective when I go through the fruit and vegetable section. When I get home, I get a knife and I cut them. I get pissed all the time. I've proven it to myself. I mean, I cut these apples open. They've got no seeds. I sit there and bought a bag of apples that effing says organic. And I go into a rage sometimes. I'm like, man, these bastards just sold me a bag of apples, man. It says organic. I go in there, I get home, I cut it open. There's no seeds. So I cut them open and I leave slices on my fence. I like to feed the animals, guys. I got a lot of animals here, so I leave them on my fence. Nothing. I have raccoons, I have possums, I have squirrels. They all love apples. They will not eat these fucking apples. So, yeah, man, I get passionate about this because I'm so tired. Every time I go to the store, there's less and less I can get there. Now my meats are from a butcher shop. I know they're coming straight from the cow. I can even choose what parts of the cow or steer I want. So I get all my meats from the butcher shop now. And I go to a health store, and this guy's just as zealous as I am. He goes through all product labels. He goes through everything. It's a store in Conroe. I hope he never goes out of business, but his business is big. He's got because a lot of people are abandoning the grocery stores, and they're looking for these highly specialized stores. Well, I'm glad I found 2 of them, a butcher shop and this health store where I can get all this food and nothing's processed in there. So, yeah, man, it's getting bad, guys. It's getting terrible. I got a neighbor. She's like over 1,000 feet away, and she's getting morbidly obese, but she didn't start that way. And I can hear her every night. She likes to stay on the porch at night. I can hear her every night hacking up shit. It's disgusting. Gargling it, and fuck, man. You know, it's all she eats is processed food. All she eats is all the junk that's on the shelves. And it's killing her. She doesn't even know it. Always choking and gagging and always has sinus drainage and mucus. All my sinus drainage problems are gone ever since I quit processed food. Ben Shapiro. We need to always remember this dude. Yeah, this dude sucks. Ben Shapiro. No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem. Shut up. This quack has never worked a day in his life. Talking about, yeah, man, shut up. No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem. Ben Shapiro. What a quack. So, you remember back in 04 and 03 and 04, I used to tell you guys all the time, some of y'all thought I was crazy. I said, hey guys, we've got a news flash. They just dropped a new Biden. And we went through 5 Bidens in the Biden administration. So first of all, it's like a remedial intelligence test. Remedial, meaning this isn't even advanced. It's just remedial. If you in any way think that the guy on the left is the guy on the right, you're a moron. You have totally failed, not an advanced test, but a remedial one. You are a qualified moron. Yeah, remember this case? This is the doctor went on social media talking shit, doing videos. Oh, yeah, she dies at 43 years old. That's how old I was when I got out of prison after 26 years. 43 years old. That's when she died. She did social media. She appeared on social media and did little videos talking about how she got vaxxed and how you're stupid for not getting vaxxed and all that. And bam, gone. She's not the only one. There's a whole bunch of them gone. People making fun of it on. You've seen that comedian, that woman that made fun at it? Yeah. As soon as she made fun about people who didn't take it, she just, bam, falls out dead. If they could leave the earth, they wouldn't need bunkers. Yeah, man. Remember this. Here's Mother Nature, and here's Mother Beep. Here in Texas, we still get those blue skies. We still get those epic blue, no cloud skies. Yeah, we still get them. I'm pretty sure most of the world still gets them. But then sometimes I walk outside and I see this. Okay, ladies, it's time you start thinking about if the guy you're dating has post-apocalyptic warlord material potential. That's where we're going. It was so great watching Anna Kasparian, you know, the Young Turks girl. The Young Turks are trying to make a comeback. So the Young Turks, I thought they were from the beginning. I thought they were Jewish. The Young Turks were playing because I know Turkey has a huge Jewish control apparatus there too. So I thought they were just gaslighting people. You know, you've heard of the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian. She's really attractive woman, and her co-host. So lately they've been going hard though, and it's like, damn. So all these years you've been telling people they're full of shit when they're calling out all this Jewish stuff. All of a sudden you're on board with it, like an agenda got switched. Like they turned this power down and turned this one up. Somebody, yeah, man, because Anna Kasparian, she went off on Israel and Gaza, condemning Israel. She went off. It is such an amazing speech that she did. Yeah, I listened to it 2 or 3 times. I even thought about putting it on here, but yeah, I better not. So she went off. Now her co-host is doing the same thing on X. He's steady posting things, and people are calling him out and says, like, man, how are you just going to do a 180? All this time you've been going in one direction, all of a sudden you do a total 180. All the conspiracies in the past that we've been telling you about, all of a sudden, all the big channels, not just the Young Turks, all the big channels are now picking up what we've been laying down all along. And we've been telling you about these conspiracies for decades. And all of a sudden, the Epstein files had you awake. Yeah, man, I want to see the fall of a lot of people like Bill Maher. Yeah, 100% Jewish. You know who he is. He's always gaslighting the public, always trying to pretend like he's a right conservative Republican. He's like the Fox News, the fake Fox News of because I don't know even why conservatives even listen to Bill Maher, whatever his name is. He's another one. There's a whole bunch of them like that are all now trying to tell the truth. All the things we've been saying all along. So the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian went off. It was amazing. I give her much kudos. Also, the fact I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think she's sexy as hell, but she went off. But then she got absolutely destroyed by a no-name female from some university on feminism. Yeah, because Anna Kasparian's also a feminist. Well, this woman destroyed. Anna couldn't even respond to all. She tried over and over. This woman just totally surgical striked all her arguments. She just killed her about Anna Kasparian's feminist remarks in the past about, you know, the feminists. We need a world full of men. We don't need men, period. You know, we'll be just fine. So Anna Kasparian, however you say her name, she's gone on record saying these feminist remarks, and this woman went and dissected all that shit and explained to her what the world would really be like without all the men doing all these horrific and infrastructure type jobs that women do not want to do, and they're jobs that are almost 100% all male oriented. Yeah, so shut her down. So I kind of felt sorry for her because I am crushing on her a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, ladies, it is time to start thinking about if the guy you're dating has post-apocalyptic warlord material. Bill Clinton officially named as Epstein's most prolific pedophile in leaked court documents. Isn't that something? We already knew. I mean, he's married to Hillary. We have investigated ourselves and we have found ourselves to be innocent. FBI, CIA, DOD, DOJ, they're all controlled by the same people. This is so me. Guys, I may never enjoy a normal relationship because this is so effing me. He's probably thinking about other girls. And I'm sitting there wondering why boxing rings are square. Yeah, man. It's so fucking me. Man, it's crazy. Let's see here. Naftali Bennett. Regardless of our political opinion, we strongly oppose external political intervention in Israel's internal affairs. Can you see the hubris here? Israel is involved in everyone else's internal affairs. Regardless of our political opinion, we strongly oppose external political intervention in Israel's internal affairs. Well, if you really oppose that, then why do so many of our congressmen in the United States have dual citizenship with Israel? We are an independent nation, not a banana republic. Well, that's very telling. That means this guy is condescending and regards all other governments outside of Israel to be banana republics. Very condescending. You got to read between the lines. So, with the threat of terrorism on its way to the West, it would be best if the international community would assist Israel in its just war, thereby also protecting their countries. This is not just a veiled threat. This is how the Israeli government communicates on social media. They literally tell you the truth, but they doctor it in political speech. What he just said is that to the United States is, you need to stay out of our business. This is our business. If you don't want terroristic attacks in the United States, you had better assist us in our war against Palestine and Iran. That's how you interpret something like that. So easy. I've been telling you guys this for years. Do not donate to the Red Cross. Also, I don't know why people donate to Goodwill. Why do you donate to Goodwill? The dude is filthy rich because you gave all this merchandise to him for free that he puts price tags on and sells. And then he gets tax cuts, man, because it's charity, it's donation. Man, it's so crazy what people do. Why are you giving? Go give to a church. Find local churches and go give your stuff to them. Why give your stuff to Goodwill? It is an absolute scam. It's a total scam. I can't go into Goodwill right now, and I've got one right here. There's Goodwills all over the nation. I'm in a small, tiny town called Willis, and we have a Goodwill. Yeah, Goodwills are everywhere. It is the biggest scam ever. I can't walk into a Goodwill and tell the people, hey, man, I got COVID-19. I could barely breathe. And for 13 days, I was in the hospital, and I lost 30-something pounds, and I wasn't able to work. I lay flagstone, and I'm not able to provide for myself, and I don't have any food. I don't have anything right now. Do you think I could get some clothes, some winter clothes? It's cold outside. Do you think I can get anything here? Some of your toilet paper? Can I get some of these paper towels? Maybe these plates and spoons, and I'll go to church. Maybe I can get some food from them. You can't do that at a Goodwill. And they got 100% of their merchandise for sale for free by donations, but you can't get shit from them. No, man. Quit donating to Goodwill. And Red Cross too, man, because it's all a scam. Every bit of it's a scam. You can hear me getting all up in my feelings about this shit. I've lived a poverty-stricken life, bro. I'm telling you now, you're not listening to somebody who hasn't lived that life. Yeah, I've been broke off my ass before. Yeah, this is some dumb shit too. when you're kneeling for racial justice, but your black teammate is standing in respect, you just may be an idiot. Absolutely. So, this is Trump's daughter, Ivanka. Ivanka Trump is no longer called Ivanka Trump because she converted to Judaism. And she, not just Judaism, but she is now a member of Chabad Lubavitch, which is like satanic Jewish cult type stuff. Her new name is Yael Kushner. She is Jared Kushner's wife. Real estate mogul, just like Trump. Now, we're made to believe that she converted to Judaism. But there's a lot more family ties with the Drumps. Trump is the name that we know them by, but they were originally called Drumps. So there's a lot more connections with Israel to the Drumps in Germany and stuff. This is not the face of someone who is not already Jewish. It's just all political theater, what we're told, that she converted, that she went out. She's been Jewish all along. So it's crazy. It's crazy the things they hide in plain sight and all the interrelationships in the deal. And I don't even give a damn. I don't even care who's running the world. Just stay out of my world. That's all I care about. Just stay out of my world. But I did JFK. I did 9/11. Father like son. Right here. The Bush crime family. Yeah. This dude right here is the reason why I stayed an extra 15 years in prison. This dude here. Yep. I was supposed to come up for parole in 1997. 1997, I should have come up for parole. By 1998, I should have been released in 7.5 years. But Bush created some new laws, draconian laws, because he built 61 new prisons in Texas, and they had to justify not only creating more draconian laws to lock more people up, because they put factories, manufacturing and logistics factories in every one of these prisons, and they got free labor. Texas prisoners are not paid. Don't believe that bullshit. They're not paid for their labor. So they put all these tens of thousands of prisoners working in these factories 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. And they're making the state and all the shareholders, because a lot of this is private. It has nothing to do with taxes. Taxes pay for the system, but it's private investors that are making all the money. Oh, it's a scam they're doing in Texas prison. It's a scam. They're still doing it today. So this guy here is the one that started it. But he didn't just build the 61 new prisons and 61 factories, but they changed the laws in Texas to criminalize things that people just used to do probation on. Now they're going to prison for. So in the 1990s, the prison system went, when I got there, 41,000 people. By the time Bush was out of office in the late 90s, 163,000 people were locked up in the Texas prison system. I was there for all of it. I saw the growth. I saw all the new prisons being built. It's crazy what was going on. But what pissed me off is this asshole here, right here, retroactively applied harsher sentences against those of us that were serving crimes from earlier periods. And even the Texas Attorney General told him it's not legal. You cannot retroactively apply parole laws and make people serve longer on their sentences than what they signed for on their paper. And I signed a 30-year sentence, which under the law at the time in 1990 only carried 7.5 years. It was called the revolving door sentencing period. And it's when courts were giving long sentences knowing you weren't going to do but a fraction of it. So I was going to do 7.5 years. This is after they stole my 90 days boot camp from me. This guy here was told by the Texas Attorney General of the time, you can't do that. He told the Texas Attorney General, he says, we're going to do it and we're going to pass it. And if any of those prisoners don't like it, they can appeal to the courts. But you can't, because parole is not a right, it's a privilege. So they changed the parole law, not the sentencing law. It's a loophole for them. They're retroactively on the federal constitution. It's absolutely illegal. It's called a bill of attainder, and you cannot increase a punishment after the individual being punished has already signed for a previous agreement. And that was my case. I signed for that 7.5 years. Bush turned it into 15 years. I turned into a demon in the Texas prison center. It's Texas prison complex and didn't give a damn anymore. And people got the hell out of my way. I became the very evil SOB in prison that this man wanted me to be. I'm not proud of those years, but this SOB took a 17-year-old kid who was going to get out at 23 years old and ended up making sure that I couldn't even be released till I was 31. What do you think that did to me psychologically in prison? Yeah, man, F the Bushes. Can't stand it. Oh, guess who that attorney general is? The attorney general who told him that he couldn't do that ended up signing off on that law. Greg Abbott, who's the governor of Texas right now. Yeah, man, my life is crazy, guys. You would not believe all the shit that's happened in my life. Absolutely crazy. Woman forgives. A woman forgives her mother's killer and even visits him in prison. So a mother and a daughter living in the same house, the mother invites this guy into the house. This guy kills her mother. She visits the murderer in prison and forgives him. And when he gets out of prison, he paroles to her house. She has forgiven him, and then he kills her. I don't feel sorry for her one bit. One bit. Oh, yeah, here's that woman that was doing those videos. Yeah, she's gone. 43 years old. She checked out. She was a surgeon, too. She was a surgeon. She checked out. Yep. This is the original Joe Biden right here. This is the original Joe Biden. This clown here. I don't know who this guy is. He's the one that was in the presidency. This guy's not the one from that started in 2020 as a presidency. He was already removed. This is the one that started. He was already removed from the equation. Just wait till everyone finds out that hospitals murdered people nationwide simply to collect the government COVID subsidy of $48,000 per death. Yeah, man. They were dancing in all the hospitals to discharge the energy that was put in there from previous rituals. That's what all that dancing was about. It was communicating to the field that this is the time period to discharge all that energy that the field had stored from the past rituals and from the Olympics. Look at this guy, Rabbi Shmuley. Candace Owens always getting on his ass. This is a rabbi. This is a Jewish rabbi who is a multi-millionaire, maybe even a billionaire because he sells sex toys. Him and his daughter together own a sex toy distribution network. Rabbi Shmuley. Scientists, look at this shit. Fox News, man. Scientist apologizes after a photo of a star turns out to be a slice of chorizo. You can't make this shit up. Yeah, man. Come on, man. A slice of melted cheese under a microscope. They tried to pass that off as a star. That's CGI NASA. NASA's always getting caught. Supposed to have been from the James Webb Telescope. They got busted. So dumb. I still need that shirt made, Big John. It's so dumb. I found this interesting. CIA declassified codes for pain relief, healing, and more. I don't know if they work or not. It kind of seemed kind of arbitrary, real arbitrary. I don't even want to read it because I think this is almost like a ritual. That number is way too specific. If you were to do something like that, CIA probably already charged that to activate something else. So I'm not gonna condone that. Yeah, this guy here, Muslims come in peace. When we Muslims uprise in Britain, we will come door to door, checking everyone's Islamic status. You will be given a choice to convert to Islam or be eliminated. It's as simple as that. Yeah. They're not joking. They're not joking at all. We come in peace. I like this one. Let's put it all out there. Biden is a pedophile. Obama is gay. Michelle is a dude. The elites drink baby's blood. Child trafficking is the elite's drug of choice. Epstein serviced the elites. The USA is a corporation. The immigrants coming over the border are fighting age men who will attack everyone. The food we eat is poison on purpose. The COVID vax was meant to depopulate the world. The election was stolen. Hillary had JFK Jr. assassinated. Mail-in ballots were used to steal the election. Cancer is purposely caused by the government. There it is, all in one meme. I like this one. Honey, your job as a woman is to notice when a man is happy and immediately put a stop to that nonsense. Man, come on, man. Come on. Uh-oh, thank you, Smashton. Coffee is better in the underground. I love coffee. I love coffee. Yeah, man, the underground's taking off. If you're not in Archaix, it's $5.52 a month. I go live 4 or 5 times a month in the underground. It's a much different situation than this because I bring people on the screen every single time and we just chop it up and talk about all kinds of different stuff. And sometimes we get real racy in our conversations, things we can't really talk about on YouTube. Underground's awesome. And there's just so much to do. Errant personals and there's audio files. There's just so much. There's 40 different, it's like 40 different miniature websites all attached to Archaix Underground. We call them spaces. But yeah, honey, it's your job as a woman to notice when a man is happy and immediately put a stop to that nonsense. Man. Yeah, Archaix Underground's awesome. The link is in the description box. Suicide hotline. How can I help you? I'd like to place an order. That's Killery. Look at her face. You almost want to think she's just an actress. It's funny, man. All right. Look at this. A lot of people don't know this girl's history. A lot of people. I'm still trying to figure out what she knew on somebody for this to have happened. But in 2018, this girl here was a broke bartender. 2019, she's elected to Congress and assumes office in 2019 with a salary of $155,000, and now she's worth over $29 million now. This is a year old. What kind of dirt did this girl have on somebody to where she could get elected into Congress from bartending? Yeah, man. AOC. Unprecedented climate change has caused sea levels at Sydney Harbor to rise approximately 0.0 centimeters over the past 140 years. The world is too perfect, guys. If we were on a globe, the oceans, the seas would be so unstable. They'd be so unstable. There would be tsunamis every day. Now, we're on a fixed plane. That's the only way. I mean, that's the only way to describe it. We're on a fixed plane and all movements in the sky. Big holographic projector, a whole dome moving over us, but we are not moving at all. Miss Germany 2024 and the random cashier at Aldi's. There's a reason for this, though. It's just like all the non-white mayors, governors, prime ministers of all over the UK. It's the exact same thing. I got more pictures to show you on that. It's also like what I showed you a couple months ago on YouTube. Remember the freak show, which they call the fashion show in Paris? Yeah, it's the elite laughing at you. Come on, man! You got this dude with a house on his head, and he's trying to keep a straight face as he's walking down. Come on, man. This girl has lesions and growths on her dress that look horrific, but she's goddess beautiful in high heels walking. She's got to keep a straight face. Yeah, man. You got some weird girl that could be a guy. You can't tell. Unisexual, flat chest. You just can't tell. And then got an elaborate tail. And then webbed feet. And this is fashion. Webbed feet walking out. No, man, the elite are laughing at you. These beauty pageants have turned into that too. It's like an FU to the nationalities like Germany. It's like an FU. I don't even see the Oscars anymore. I just see Epstein Island visitors. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Miss Germany again, random Aldi's cashier. It's all by design. It's all intentional. It was supposed to be a battle against the pandemic to protect the people. It became a battle against the people to protect the pandemic. Yeah, no truer words were ever said about 2020. 2021. No truer words. I don't think it's a real picture. I think it's AI generated picture. Liberal white women who complain it's too dangerous to walk alone at night, signing the petition to release violent criminals. Liberalism is so toxic. It is. It really is. I'm an ex-con, and I'm absolutely in agreement that a lot of men should never be released from prison, ever. Yeah, man, I went through that life. Yeah, man, I was around them. I'm not talking about all of them because there's a whole bunch of people in prison don't deserve to be there. Stupid shit. No one with a marijuana charge should ever be in prison. It's so dumb. Mushrooms too should never be in prison. So dumb. Whole bunch of people should not be in prison, but there's a bunch of guys in prison who should never be released. No good would come from releasing them from the joint. Yeah, man. There's some real demons in maximum security. There's no doubt. Let's see. Governor Kristi Noem. This is doublespeak. Ensuring the security of God's chosen people. Governor Kristi Noem. Not talking about Americans, but conservative Christian Reich programmed Southern Baptist type Christians in America. U.S. citizens will see something like this and they'll be full of pride. That's our girl right there. She's going to protect me. She's speaking my language. Ensuring the security of God's chosen people. She's talking about us. This is the girl we need to elect, man. She's going to be America first. That's what she said. God's chosen people. America first. Look at her. There's an American flag behind her. No, there's not. No, there's not. There's red and white stripes behind her, not an American flag. Totally different meaning. Ensuring the security of God's chosen people. She's going to only promote Israel first. That's what she's going to do. Let's see. President Vladimir Putin giving a speech in 2022. The painting in the background is of Prince Vladislav, the ancient Russian conqueror who destroyed the Khazarian Empire. This is Vladimir Putin giving a speech with this dude here. So it begs the question. A lot of people, there's people who claim that Putin's in on it, and Russia has always been the out. They have always been the outsider, and there was a definite reason why the Bolsheviks wanted to take them over. And then Russia collapsed when the Bolsheviks pulled out in the 1990s. And Russia became a whole bunch of independent states. It was all part of the plan, too, to weaken them. Russia was much bigger. So like Chechnya and so Ukraine was a part of Russia. Chechnya was a part of Russia. There's other places were a part. So Putin and the Russians still have a major role in everything that's going on. And I am unconvinced that they are still they're playing ball with Israel. I am unconvinced. All the way going back 18, 19 centuries, the Rus Vikings, and then the Russians who attacked Constantinople twice. They have always gone against the power structures. Russia is very unique. It's very unique. To be giving a political speech while showing a national hero who totally destroyed a Jewish empire, that's pretty compelling. It's pretty compelling. Yeah, this guy's he's not weak. He's not weak. There's no other leaders in the world that are like this guy. And what I mean is that he can kill you with his bare hands. He is intelligence trained, military trained. He's the truth. Vladimir Putin is the truth. He's not a soft ass politician. This dude will break you in a minute if you don't know how to defend yourself. Why do globalist overlords always look like they've just shit their depends? Don't they? You know who this is, Bush. God, he looks terrible, man. You got all that money and you still look that bad. Got all that money and you still got, yeah, it's terrible. Here's George Soros. He's Jewish. It's long known that he's Jewish. I don't know who this is. He's so familiar to me, but I don't know who he is. This is Henry Kissinger. He was every president's handler for like 14 presidents, 7 that he actually officially served under, but another 7 that he consulted with, and basically he was their handlers too. Yeah, evil dude right here, the Henry Kissinger. Warnings of a virus in 1981. I read this book called The Eyes of Darkness. This is a Dean Koontz book, and it's just a work of fiction. But in this book, it literally says that a man-made virus out of the Wuhan lab in China will be released in the year 2020. This is a Dean Koontz book. Kind of makes you wonder if AIX has been around for a very long period of time. Wuhan lab. I'm not making it up. Wuhan virus made in China, 2020, global pandemic. Book was released in 1981. So crazy, man. Let's see. On September 10th, 2001, one day before the World Trade Center, Donald Rumsfeld, of course, another criminal, announced that the Pentagon was missing $2 trillion. The next day, by sheer coincidence, that part of the Pentagon was destroyed, which happened to be the budget analyst office where the DOD staff were working on the missing 2.3 trillion they announced. So the financial offices in the Pentagon that were set up to find that missing $2 trillion, that's the only place that got destroyed by a Predator drone. Remember, it wasn't an airplane. They told us it was an airplane that hit the Pentagon, but it was not. It was a Predator drone. It was way smaller. In Hebrew, meta means dead. There you go. Oh, Zuckerberg suckering everybody into an alternate reality called the metaverse. And meta means dead. So here's something really interesting. Maybe somebody in the chat can explain this to me. But if you don't understand that we would see 100% different stars here on the left, which is 93 million miles from the sun, and then 182.5 days later, we're going to be on the opposite side of the sun in summertime, looking a totally different direction, and we should be seeing different stars, but we're not. We're always seeing the exact same northern circumpolar stars. How is that possible? How is that possible? There it is. It's so interesting. So interesting. Did you ever stop to think about all the people we kill? I love George Carlin. They're always the people who tell us to live together in harmony and try to love one another. Jesus, Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, John Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, John Lennon. They all said, try and live together peacefully. Bam! Right in the effing head. Apparently, we're not ready for that. Carlin's a mess, man. Carlin is a mess. So this provides great perspective right here. So Some of you are going to get turned off about what I'm about to say. But you know what? It's my truth. It doesn't have to be your truth. But when these girls were dominating in tennis, I was unimpressed. I'm not racist, but I was absolutely unimpressed that a woman built like this, very muscular, a high body mass index, is playing tennis with girls that are 100 to 125 pounds and dominating them. I am unimpressed. The media painted the picture like it was a fair, but it never shows these girls standing next to the girls they're playing. There's no time in tennis where they stand side by side. They're on opposite ends of the court. Camera angles will also conceal a lot about people's body size. But I have always favored the idea that tennis should be like other sports and it be by weight class. In boxing, which is high contact, it's by weight class. It's by weight class for a reason, because it's unfair. It is unfair for bantam and flyweight to fight somebody who is in heavyweight. The heavyweight guys may not be as experienced or as good boxers, but they'll win almost every time because body mass index. When Jason hits somebody, it's with 225 pounds of body weight behind that punch. If a 10th grader who weighs 95 pounds punches Jason, not going to feel it hard, not going to feel it near as bad as if I punch that 10th grader. I may not even be a better fighter, but the amount of weight and fluid in my body will maximize the pressure of the blow against somebody I hit. Same thing in tennis. The only thing separating that ball coming from the 120-pound girl and Venus is the racket. But the racket is attached to a center of gravity that is 185 pounds. It's a huge advantage. It means that she can barely hit the ball, and the other girl is going to struggle to get that ball back because it feels like the pressure behind the ball. It's totally unfair. Golf is not a situation where anyone's body mass index is really going to play a part other than the fact of how far they can hit the ball. But tennis is almost like a contact sport because the only thing between you and the ball is that racket. It is totally unfair. All these girls are getting handled because of the pressure behind the ball, not because of a talent, a better tennis player. The very fact that some of these girls that were almost half the body weight of the Venus sisters actually beat the Venus sisters shows skill over basically barbarity. The very fact that some of these European girls did win against this is incredible. It shows that they were highly skilled because all the disadvantages were on their side. Yeah, man, it's tennis. Tennis should go by body. Here's a perfect example. This girl here thought she was real badass after she smoked through a bunch of light little skinny dainty European girls. She thought she was the shit, so she called a guy out. He destroyed her. Yeah, she never played a guy again. He destroyed her. Not because he's a better player. She could get to that ball just as fast too. She got destroyed because he was 60 pounds heavier than her. Destroyed her. Yeah, man. That's what it is. Yeah, tennis should be a contact sport. All those years I was watching the Venus and Serena beat the crap out of him, I was unimpressed every time. I was like, man, this is bullshit, man. That's total bullshit. Unimpressed. So this guy here, man, he's trying to rub one out. He knows, listen, he's already gave up. It's the end of the world. There's no reason why I should run down the street and die at the end of the street. There's no reason why I should call people that are far away and just die with them. There's no reason why I should expend all this energy. Man, there's shit falling out the sky, man. People are getting falling. Man, when people move, they just die. You know what? I'm just going to rub one out. Since I'm going to check out, I'm going to check out my way. That's what he did. And you know what? The oversoul thought it was beneficial to the rest of the human family to go ahead and preserve this for posterity as a living and dead example of the attitude that you should have in the apocalypse. Hey, man, you know what, man? You're going to go anyway. You may as well go out in style. Yeah, man. So crazy. So You remember Terry Nick. Oh my God. Yeah, man. I told you it's going to get wild in this one. This is a total absolute freestyle. So this was really embarrassing for Google. So Google released its AI and everybody starts using it, but people started realizing real bad that they had the prompts that Google had used for their AI were either wrong, and they wanted to prompt it to kind of rewrite history to make it look like blacks were actually more involved in all the historical things than necessary, or and it didn't. It just changed all white people to black, all Asians to black, everybody in the world was now black for every historical figure. It was really embarrassing for Google. That's the cover story, that the prompts were wrong, but it could be something else as well. We have server farms all over the world. We don't really know what's in them. There could be an alternate version of reality already preloaded into the server farms, ready to release at a certain time, that completely provides a falsified version of the entire world, the entire world's history, all reality, and everything is already preloaded into it. And they might have accidentally shown us what it was before, and it has nothing to do with prompts. It's very interesting, man. This is what they did. They released it and they took it down quick when they saw what was going on. The unjabbed are truly a different breed from the rest. They threw every lie they could think at us, and we didn't flinch. Yeah, man, you should be proud of yourself. If you're listening to me and you survived that whole thing by not succumbing to fear and going to letting them put foreign things into your body, man, yeah, man, you deserve a pat on the back. There's no doubt. No doubt at all. Candace Owens, the greatest Holocaust that ever happened was against Christians and what the Bolsheviks did to us. She is absolutely correct. Correct. It wasn't just the Bolsheviks, it was also the Jewish Turks. Absolutely. So, I don't know who Mark Lutchman is, but this is a good comment. 1.6%. Only 1.6% of U.S. citizens owned slaves in the year 1860, when slavery was at its peak. That's 1.6. So you can stop basing your hate for the entire white race for the actions of a mere 1.6%. Damn, man. No, man, the dude needs a medal for saying that. Yeah, man. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who called the unvaxxed schmucks, a Jewish word, has pacemaker installed after 3 open heart surgeries. I don't feel sorry for him. You had a good run, bro. You had a good run. You were Running Man, Terminator. Man, you say you were a part of my upbringing, Mr. Schwarzenegger. You were a part of all these badass movies, man. And you entertained the shit out of me. Commando. I love you to death for who you used to be. But when you started to politicize, you and all these other actors and actresses can F off. You can all F off. The worst thing in the world is a pontificating actor or actress. We watch you for entertainment. Do not think that we value your opinions. Shut the hell up. All you ultra-liberal government slave, you're doing whatever the shekels tell you to do. No, man. F off. Really loved your movies, bro, but you can F off. And you can stay right there in that hospital bed where you deserve to be for promoting the vax. Absolutely. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I don't want to hear any sob stories from all these political elite, all these actors and actresses, all these social media personalities. I want to hear zero sob stories about your health problems when you were one of them on stage denigrating people for not taking the vax. No, man, you deserve whatever horrible shit they put in your body. You deserve it. Man, F off. You're irrelevant anyway, Mr. Schwarzenegger. AI within 2 or 3 years is going to do away with Hollywood. Completely. Done. What's being made in AI videos and AI shorts now far surpasses any Hollywood productions anyway. Who's gonna spend $500 million on a movie anymore when AI can do it for $50,000? You just pay the AI guys to do it. Pay them to put the right prompts in there. Yeah, do 200 or 300 simulations of a movie until you get every detail exactly right. It's so easy now. Hollywood is irrelevant. When fascism comes to America, it will be wrapped in the flag and carrying a cross. This was said in 1935 by Sinclair Lewis. It's basically what I've been telling you for 6 years on YouTube. Archaix veterans will vouch for that. I'm not making anything up. I've been telling you guys, even when the liberals and the socialists were in absolute control under Biden and everybody was talking about this was the new normal, and I was telling you guys that you guys got it wrong. I've been studying calendrics, and in the calendrics, we have a situation unfolding in the next 4 or 5 years. I was very clear about this. At the height of the Biden administration and the social democratic takeover of America, at the height, my predictions videos were saying just the opposite. It says, guys, you don't understand. This COVID shit's temporary. After 18 months, things are going to basically return to normal. These lockdowns are not a new normal. I was saying that. I was also telling you guys, do not trust all these patriot pacifists. All these patriot pacification agents are all working for probably Mossad. They're being paid their shekels, whatever. These guys cannot be trusted all across YouTube, sitting there promoting all this BS. I was saying that too. But I also told you that Trump is a part of a program. It is the controlled collapse of the Democratic Party. How many of you people remember me saying that 5 years ago? Trump is a part of a program, and it is the controlled collapse of the Democratic Party. Has that not happened in the last 3 years? To perfection. All this was predicted 5 years ago in my videos because I study calendrics. I don't study what's going on in social media. I do not care what's happening in the field. I care what happened in history and how it mathematically matches up with what's going on today. This is my method. So, yeah, man, I was real specific in all that, and I was attacked every day. I had to block so many accounts because people were so triggered, but I don't care. Sinclair Lewis said it before me. I told you the rise of the Christian Reich is going to be in tandem with the controlled collapse of the Democratic Party. Everything I told you in the predictions videos has come true, and that Trump was going to be involved. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. And people still won't listen. This is the real pandemic. Missing children per year. Australia, 20,000 children a year just come up missing. 45,000 from Canada. 100,000 from Germany. Why only 100,000? Hold on. Why 100,000 from Germany? But India has 1/4 of the entire world's population and only 96,000 disappear. Is somebody specifically targeting Germany? Spain, 20,000. United Kingdom, 112,000 English kids disappear every single year. United States, almost 500,000 disappear every single year. Didn't we just see a video at the very beginning of this video that in 1990, this guy told us that our children are being fed to reptilian overlords in the underworld? When more athletes have died of heart attacks in the last 2 years than the previous 50, I wonder if they'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm just like this guy. I'm wondering if you'll ever figure it out because I'm really tired of telling you. Yeah, I'm so close. I'm in love with my community. I'm in love with the personalities. I love the interaction, man. We got some great people, but it's gotten to the point where I feel like, man, you might start circling the wagons. I'm doing that with Underground, kind of circling the wagons with Underground, doing most of my stuff in there. You know what? It's like the outside world. F off. You guys all fell for this. You're still promoting it, man. You led many people astray, and you want to come preach to me now? How dare you come into my field telling me all these conspiracies are true when you laughed at me all the years I've been telling you? Yeah, man. You directed traffic away from my channel, away from my Facebook, away from my books. I've got published books on all these topics, and you directed traffic away from all this, telling everybody I was a shill, telling them, yeah, man, F you. Yeah, what that shit you got in your blood right now, and whatever it's going to do when they activate these towers and all that stuff, F you. Do not call me. and ask for help. I can only expend so much energy before I have to start circling the wagons. There has to come a point in time where, you know what, man, I've done enough. It's time for me to just invest everything in my community. Screw the rest of the world. You guys fell for some shit, promoted some shit, and even denigrated all of us who were trying to tell you right. No, man. No, it's time. Yeah, when the zombie apocalypse happens and you realize that you're the zombies, don't come around me, because you're not going to get the help you're looking for at all. That's over with. Yeah, man. We're heading to some really interesting times, man. And we have to carefully pick what we're going to participate in. Remember, this is a contract-based reality. And, you know, one of the contracts I signed is that, to the best of my ability, I'm going to tell people the truth as I see fit and I know it. But also, there's nothing in that contract that says that I have to keep doing it while you keep kicking me in the face. The more I give you, kick me in the face. The more I give you more, you kick me in the face. There comes a point in the time where I'm going to catch that foot, and I'm going to take the other foot out from you, and I'm going to do evil things. Yeah, there's going to come a time where I'm done. Yeah, man, I'm at that point. I'm at that point, man. F off, dude. I get other people contacting me that want to come on my channel, and sometimes, guys, behind the scenes, I'm telling people to F off a lot. Hey, man, you know what? Fuck off. Yeah, way over there. See that plate right over there? Yeah, take your channel over there, man. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, man, I'm real picky. I don't agree with everything that with everybody who comes on my channel. I have friendships and I have acquaintances, and people want to come on my channel. I got no problem with them at all. I let them come on and, you know, tell people what you want to tell them. It doesn't mean I agree with everything that they're saying at all. But there's many people that have asked to be on my channel that I've told to F off from the bottom of my heart. And I mean that. And it's because of things that they have said on their own channels. And I realize, oh, okay, this right here can never be taken back. You said this in a video, but you want to pretend you didn't and then come on my channel. No, man, that's who you really are. This is you. That's a point of revelation. Yeah, man. We have to judge things. We have to judge things as we see them. Yeah, people are always trying to conceal their identities and conceal their intent and all that. And I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. I'm not cool with all the gaslighting. And that's what's going on in the field right now. The Epstein files have forced people to look at things. Now that the government is the one that released the file, it's such a mind F that for years and years and years, you guys, me, several others have been trying to wake people up and tell them, and they won't listen because government told them this, NASA tells them this, so they listen. Now all of a sudden, the government releases the Epstein files, and you're in cognitive dissonance. You're all of a sudden like, oh, well. Yeah, now you can't even process it. All the same shit we've been telling you. But now that the government released the files, you're all effed up. You're all effed up. Yeah, and then you want to show up in my field, in my comment sections, and you want to email me, and some of them even blow up my phone and like, oh man, we need to do a video about this, and we need to inform the community about this, man. Hey, man, Epstein file, such and such. Man, I said, no, F you. What are you talking about? We've been talking about this for years. Where you been? And don't come into my field, man, because you just discovered a bunch of new shit and you think that we're behind like you are. No, man. Screw all that. That's where I'm at right now. Right now I'm in fight mode. I'm like telling everybody, man, fuck off. Yeah, I'm telling a bunch of people, get out of my field, man. Fake pictures of people dropping in the street in China cause mass panic about the virus. Live pictures of fit young athletes dropping on the sports fields after the vax. Nothing to worry about. There's nothing to see here. Can you imagine the duplicity? You remember how many people were horrified and scared seeing those video clips of Chinese people in full hazmat suits just falling out? Boop. You're in a hazmat suit. Why'd you fall out? But they did it. They're in a hazmat suit. They fall out. Show all these videos. Other people walking down the street and they just all of a sudden fall out. So they show the video. They show the videos of what's going on in China of the staged events. Mass panic. But nobody panics at all. In 2020 and 2021, after Operation Warp Speed is rolled out and people taking it, the very first nurse on television that took the vax died on the site. You don't remember that? The very first nurse, they showed her on television. She takes the stuff and goes and falls out in the deal right there. And if that wasn't telegraphing that this was wrong, and still the sheep lined up to get it. The sheep lined up to have their kids get it. Yeah, man. So crazy. And then for over a year and a half, how many times did we see on television during sporting events these athletes who are in the prime of their life just fall out dead? But the media's not making the connection. Why? Because they're complicit. But here we are screaming to the world. You know why? They made them in order to be in the league, they had to take the deal. And still the collective masses who are now waking up with the Epstein files, trying to tell us shit. They were so asleep during this whole period of time, couldn't even wake them up. It's amazing. It is such a mind F that this mass awakening is now happening only because the government released the Epstein files. Although individuals who are all talking about the Epstein files got no play. It is such a mind F. Wow. That's why I told you earlier in this video, man. It's, you know what? If you want to trust in the government and you want the government, and you want to sacrifice your rights, privileges, and immunities, and you want to go live in your 15-minute city, and you want to do it, cool. 2.5 years into your nice little old micro community and what you're doing, all of a sudden the food they're delivering to your 15-minute city is terrible. Don't call me to provide you butcher cuts while you're going hungry on some really nasty processed food. You signed up for that. Yeah, all of a sudden, man, you want me to send you bottled water? Don't call me to send you clean bottled water out of my stores and ship it to you in there. You signed up for that when you find out now they're over-chlorinating your water. Yeah, you signed up for that whole deal. Oh, you want me to come visit you and bring you this, and this. Why? Oh, email me back and say, well, I'm only allowed to leave. They got a perimeter set up now. I'm only allowed to leave I got to sign a year in advance for my vacation time when I'm allowed to leave. Then I got to be back, or they'll cut off my banking. They'll cut off my deals like that. So I can take a vacation. I just got to give them a year's notice, and they'll open the gates for me, and I'll be able to get out. But if I'm not back by a predetermined time, they will shut my whole banking off and all that. So, oh yeah, I remember you signing up for that. So yeah, don't cry to me about about the contracts you sign. Not when I've dedicated my life for years and years to freely take up time. I could be dating. I could be going out doing all kinds of stuff. I could be partying, go to Top Golf. I go live on the beach. I could travel. I have the means to do whatever I want to do in life. But instead, day after day after day, I'm in here going through old books, going through media, and I'm talking and interacting with people to make sure that as many souls as possible have access to the most accurate information. That's what I've dedicated my life to. So when you spit in my face and then come back later trying to get from me things because now you see that I'm right and you have your epiphanies, you can F off. I'm done with that. I think a lot of people need to adopt this. Yeah, I think it would heighten the awakening much faster when people realize we're not patient anymore. We're not playing with you with kid gloves anymore. We're not sitting here trying to spoon feed you anymore. We're now about the business. And you've been effing off all this time and suffering the consequences for, but you want our help now that you're really suffering and now you realize what you signed up for. No, man. Take it like a man, suffer the consequences of your actions, and F off. This is a rock reflecting sunlight. This is a glowing heavenly body. Yeah, the moon emits its own illumination. It does not reflect sunlight. There have been studies on the moon. You're not here to save the world, guys. You're here to save your world. And that includes everybody that you include in your world. But you're not here to save the world. It's an evil construct and always will be. What if I told you that? Here's Morpheus. What if I told you that they have been intentionally exposing you to all this darkness in order to lure you into the false light of the kingdom of their coming Antichrist. I agree. And this meme is for years ago, but I agree. But it's not the Antichrist you think. I agree. The Epstein files was not released by individuals. It was released by the government. And the government never gives us anything unless it's attached to an agenda. How much I'm going to say in this video? We're being corralled with the truth. It's the best way. It's the best way to do it. You know, in order to bring about an end game, the best way is the truth. So they're hitting us with the absolute truth, and it falls perfectly in with the Pike-Mazzini plan, as we'll see here in a minute. The truth is that the elite are eating babies. The truth is that this child trafficking has been going on for a long period of time. The truth is that actors, actresses, and politicians and people high in government have been blackmailed after being filmed indulging in all kinds of activities because they yielded to it by either peer pressure or they were lured by wealth, promises of power, whatever. Well, once they signed the contract, then they were filmed participating in activities. And that's the Epstein files are just absolutely full with this stuff. So all this is the truth. We are being told the truth by the government. And they're showing it all to us. Because what they want to do is create a situation where people are going to start realizing, because the greatest way to deceive someone is to allow them to come up with the idea themselves. Do not import an alien idea into a mass of people that will always reject it. But when you import the opposite of that idea, when that idea is out there in the field, but you're not promoting it, the people will gravitate to it on their own. What is being promoted is an idea that humans cannot govern themselves, even at the highest level. They will be nefarious and evil. What is going to be promoted is that our world can only move forward when an unemotional, non-nationalistic, non-ethnic artificial intelligence takes over the role of governance, and that we all yield to it, and that it provides us a new financial system, a new government system, new checks and balances, new type of law enforcement, new freedoms, rights, privileges, immunity. Now AI is set in place and everybody signs up for it. And now a universal basic income, which is very high, new rights, privileges, and immunities, new things to do, new freedoms. And now we get to see all kinds of new things in the field. We haven't been able, all kinds of pressure is done away with. And artificial intelligence is the answer that government wants the populations to derive on their own, so they can sweep in and provide the new AI models that will start taking over these systems before they have a complete over system of AI that does it all. AI is already taking over image manipulation, video manipulation, music manipulation. It is already taking over all the cinematic productions. AI is taking over jurisprudence. It is now being used to shepherdize cases. AI is now being used as an auxiliary function in computer programs in order to collate a whole bunch of data. Jobs can easily be removed. Now, AI is already in position to do these things. What the governments need is for the people to see it as a savior and not something enslaving them. This is where we're moving right now. If illegal aliens are voting, isn't that foreign interference in our elections? I love it. It is. It's so comical. It is so comical. Simple logic. If illegal aliens are voting, isn't that foreign interference in our elections? I thought this was water. This is bourbon. I don't know what happened to my water bottle. Got a whole bottle of water around here somewhere. I might have walked to the other side of the property with it. Sure did. I was about to drink up. I'll sip some when I'm done with this. I normally have a celebratory sip after a good video. New Joe Biden just dropped. We went through 5 Bidens, man, during the Biden administration. New Biden just dropped. Yeah, man. Here's a picture of that deal we were seeing earlier. It's still a mystery. Why have we never been given an explanation? Why is there no official, even 3 years later, there is no official explanation as to what the hell people all over the world was seeing on the weather apps and the radars? Look at this. We still haven't been given an explanation. Planned Parenthood faces $1.8 billion federal trial for selling baby parts. Planned Parenthood. Uh-oh, a new variant called Waking Up is spreading around the world. I hope you catch it. Remember Donald Trump said this, for all you Trumpsters out there, the vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. All 3 vaccines, Pfizer, Moderna, J&J, are all very good. The vaccines work. If you take the vaccine, you are protected. People aren't dying when they take the vaccine. Shut your dumb ass up. So there's a lot of leaked photographs from the 60s and early 70s that have been catching a lot of people's attention. It's like the government's just trying to tell us. What's wrong with this picture? There are clearer versions of this picture you can find yourself. What's wrong with it? Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this picture? I'm just see if anybody. It's a man on the moon, all right. It's a man on the moon who's not even in an astronaut suit, doesn't even have the backpack on, and doesn't even have the helmet on. Oh, and gravity. Yeah, all that. In the 60s, the KGB did some fascinating psychological experiments. They learned that if you bombard human subjects with fear messages nonstop, in 2 months or less, most of the subjects are completely brainwashed to believe the false message. Yeah, it's just repetition. To the point that no amount of clear information they are shown to the contrary can change their mind. The whole Epstein files is like a huge psychological operation. Yeah, man, for 30 years, let's gaslight the public that none of this stuff could possibly be true and how stupid they are for thinking it. And then everything that we've told them is untrue, let's show them that it's actually true and see how they react. The Simpsons in 1999 have this picture here. Simpsons have done this a lot. Here's Ellen DeGeneres, who's really a Rockefeller. Most people don't know this. She is a Rockefeller. This is Ellen. Ellen is suspected to be actually a guy. Ellen is not his real name. Look at that. 2023. There's the picture. There's the picture. That's a photo. Now, I can admit that this photo was staged completely basically to show this right here. But it'd be really, really hard to convince a lot of people of that because they got the details right. How would they have ever got the details right? I mean, this is a Rockefeller right here. This is Jewish. Kevin Spacey is one of the is mentioned in the Epstein files as being one of the greatest predators ever. I don't know about Bradley Cooper other than the fact that he's Jewish. I don't know if he's in the Epstein files, but the Epstein files wouldn't have a lot of Jewish people because that's not who they were blackmailing. They were blackmailing almost all the non-Jews. I can't really tell, so I don't know. Really don't know, man. DC Drano. The things I used to trust but no longer. doctors, elections, vaccines, CDC, FDA, government reasons for war, the Pope, judges, military generals, FBI, DOJ. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with that list. I don't trust any of them anyway. Any of them at all. This is and the system is designed. Listen, in 2020, we were bombarded with all kinds of reasons to distrust everybody. In 2021, 2022, and 2023, they amped it up to where it was so noticeable that everybody who is ruling us is the exact opposite type of personality for the job. This is by design. It's all by design. They are exhausting the population since 2020 to get to a point where everyone will agree that a solution needs to be found. And someone's going to rise up and they're going to provide that solution. And the solution is going to be some type of new type of AI that is going to act over the governing of the human family. And because this new situation is going to provide a different type of lifestyle, different type of finances, it's going to be communist where you don't really own anything, but still you have access to everything. You can do shit, you can travel. Yeah, you got way more money in the bank than you ever had before. And this is going to sucker a lot of people into this new contract being AI governance. So this is where we're heading. They are exhausting us, showing us everything that's wrong about the world, intentionally to corral us into a solution that they're also going to provide. There she is. There she is, killing those European girls. Yeah, man. She's dominating those European girls. Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she? I was unimpressed. All those tennis matches I watched, I was just mad, sitting there like, man, that's bullshit. This shit's supposed to be by weight class. It's total bullshit. Japan releases irrefutable evidence that all COVID variants are man-made. Albert Pike letter to Mazzini. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail here. You can look, you can, every bit of this is public record. So I'm just going to tell you right now what it is. 3 world wars for total control of the world were outlined in the 1800s. World War I was perfectly described in this first paragraph, and it came true. World War II is perfectly described in the second paragraph, and it came to be true. World War III is totally described in this deal, and it's going to come true too. But it's not what I've been seeing on social media. I keep seeing Americans and Western people in Western nations all talking about, oh man, the Albert Pike-Mazzini plan, man, it's going to be the end of all of us. Where did you get that? That's not in the plan at all. It's not in the plan at all. The plan for World War III is that Islam and Zionist Israel will destroy each other, a war of mutual destruction, and that all of those who align with Islam and all of those who align with Israel will get sucked into that war as well. But the end result of the war, which was successful in World War I, successful in World War II, the end result is for political Zionism and for Islam to be absolutely removed from the field, leaving behind all the Western nations and the East, which the book of Revelation goes into more detail because it's the West against the kings of the East. It's the 7 kings against the 10 kings. Same thing as the pre-flood world unfolded. What needs to be removed, though, is Middle Earth. So, yeah, it's all in the plan. The plan is not for the destruction of America. The plan is not for the destruction of Western nations. It is for the destruction of political Zionism and Islam to mutually destroy each other. Now, the battlefield has been made international. How do we know that? Because they have been putting fifth column Islamicists in all these Western nations. But it's not enough to affect anything. It's just going to create chaos. The actual peoples of each country are far more numerous than any of the fifth columnists that they've put everywhere. But it's a good strategy. It's a good strategy. All right. So Pfizer says, sorry for illegally promoting unlicensed COVID vax with no safety data. Yeah, I don't know why any of those people aren't in prison. Oh, yeah, I do. Because they're the elite. Yeah, they're scientists. So the story is bigger than you think. Here's Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, she's not just a child trafficker. You're not just a child trafficker if you're actually giving speeches to the United Nations. Yeah. If you think it's ridiculous to think that child traffickers are in the highest positions of responsibility, then explain why Ghislaine Maxwell hung out with royalty and spoke before the UN at least 9 times. Epstein's girl spoke before the UN at least 9 times. Who is this woman? Here's a good point. No one who took the shots was able to give informed consent because the risks were censored, the benefits were falsified, and it all occurred under state and corporate coercion. Every single shot was an ethical crime and medical malpractice. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is the most expensive vehicle to operate in 2023 and 2024. When you know the truth, you'll see how most people are programmed bots for the system. So here's Ashley Winter, MD, urologist. I love how people expose each other on social media. Here she is in December 7th, 2023. My baby daughter got her shot, her second flu shot, and her COVID booster today. Why you need to post that in social media unless somebody paid you to do it. And that's what was going on back then. So she's bragging about giving her daughter the shot. Here it is. That's December 7th, 2023. Here's just 5 months later. Ashley Winter, urologist. Honest question. How do you deal with your child constantly being sick when both parents work? Between pulling her out of daycare and a frequent pediatrician appointments, it feels it's so hard to accomplish everything you need. You did it to yourself, dumbass. Yeah, you did it to your child. I love it when they call each other, when people notice these things and call it shit out. So I'm gonna tell you now, I'm one of the people that would answer this. Wanted someone to go back in time with me. This is not a joke. P.O. Box 1004, 1557, 4th Avenue, Prince George, British Columbia, V2L 3K1. This is Canada now, or Canadian address. You'll get paid after we get back. Must bring your own weapons. Safety's not guaranteed. I have only done this once before. You got me effed up. That, I'm going to answer that ad. I'm going to see what this guy's about. Hell yeah. That might be the adventure of a lifetime. Here's a demon right here. To Rockefeller. Look at that, man. It's just hideous. So, New York Post, little humor. Trans woman left sobbing at JFK airport after a TSA agent hit her in the testicles. Yeah, I feel for you, bro. Oh, I'm going to hell. Let's see. Yeah, here's another idiot. And I love the movie Ocean's 11. I love the movie The Vampire. Well, damn it, man. The vampire movie with I can't remember with that real sicko dude. I can't remember. But anyway, George Clooney, he's a moron. You remember when he was all over the news when he said it. Time to force jab every unvaccinated person in America. Yeah, man. I wonder how he's doing now. Did he take the jab or was he just paid to say that? Dusk Till Dawn. I love that movie. Thank you, man. Thank you, Not of This World. Cryohazard and Milo. Yeah, man. Dusk Till Dawn. I love Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean 13. Those are such badass movies. Yeah, man. But you know what? Yeah. If you die a horrendous death and grow a third leg, I wouldn't even give a damn. Don't email me. Yeah, man. I can't stand it when people are like this, pontificate, and then want to impose on the collective what they feel personally is good, and they don't have all the information. They don't have all. So why? I mean, why? To me, it's just the dumbest thing in the world, man. Why would somebody from Hollywood ever get on stage and try to tell us about reality? Like Roseanne Barr. I'm not trying to hear anything that woman's got to say at all. Yeah. It's her and Joe Rogan both. Neither one of them. I got no time. I got no time of day for either one of them. But Roseanne Barr, yeah, gaslighter, 100% pro-Zionist. Yeah, I'm not trying to hear that woman at all. Yeah. You spent all those years in Hollywood, and I can't stand their victim stories. Yeah, if you've been in Hollywood and listen, there's no way in hell you have not been subjected to all this dark shit that's coming out about all these other actors and actresses. You can play that role like you're innocent now. F off. You've been somewhere where you saw some real heinous shit going on, but you didn't say nothing. While our prisons all across America are full of people who haven't done a fraction of what you observed, and you didn't say nothing. Now, F off. I got almost zero respect from anybody from Hollywood from this point forward. Done with it. You guys suck. Suck as human beings, and the worst thing in the world is to have an actor or an actress get up on a podium and try to tell us in the real world anything. Shut the hell up. F off. I need some glasses like this. Toby Maguire, I need those glasses, man. Hell yeah. Put those glasses on, you see 3 lizards. So, this Mike Tyson, love this man. Social media made y'all way too comfortable with disrespecting people, like getting punched, people, and not getting punched in the face for it. Oh, I love Mike Tyson. He's so good. Yeah, man. Come on, man. You can't. I watched Tyson bite that ear. It's like, oh yeah, this dude's a beast. And he's so much smaller than a bunch of those huge dudes he dropped. Yeah, man. Huge dudes he dropped. Love this stuff. You don't hide something unless it's a weapon. That's all I'm going to say. That's 5G tower. You don't hide something unless it's a weapon. The system isn't broken. Oh, no, hold on. The system is broken and it must be fixed. The system is working exactly as intended and must be destroyed. Yeah, I'm with the second guy. Oh, here's Henry Kissinger. I showed a picture of his evil face earlier. Well, let me give you one of his evil quotes from February 25th, 2009, World Health Organization Council on Eugenics. This is Kissinger. 14 presidents, 7 of them. He served 7 more. He served them too, but it wasn't official. He was the handler for the Oval Office for Israel throughout almost everybody's life that's listening right now. Once the herd accepts mandatory vaccinations, it's game over. They will accept anything. Forcible blood or organ donation for the greater good. We can genetically modify children and sterilize them for the greater good. Control sheep minds and you control the herd. Vaccine makers stand to make billions. And many of you in this room are investors. It's a big win-win. We thin out the herd, and the herd pays us for the extermination services. Yeah. Let me remind you that Henry Kissinger is Jewish. Look at this demon, John D. Rockefeller. Oh my God. That is a fake hairpiece. There's no way that guy still got hair. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. Yeah, this is social media people. People who sign the contract in social media to lie to you. We will enlist them to push our poisons. John D. Rockefeller. Yeah, go to any grocery store in America, and those are a lot of the poisons he's talking about. This guy was always a fraud. Einstein was Illuminati, a total moron, an absolute fraud. Einstein did not invent anything. He was an ordinary desk clerk. He was a Zionist and brought by the cabal to oppose Nikola Tesla. All his books can be thrown away because they are not written by him. History is a total lie. I got another meme. I don't know where it is. I don't think it's in this file, but I got a meme from 1932 when 100 prestigious scientists in Europe all got together and signed a document saying that Albert Einstein is a fraud. Yeah, man. East-west circumnavigation, done millions of times. North-south circumnavigation, done 0 times. We have no flight paths that do that. I love squirrels. As the world gets crazier, the nuts get easier to find. Here's a funny one. When Noah's Ark finally rested atop Mount Ararat, the kangaroos stepped off and hopped 7,726 miles straight to Australia. And without any opposable thumbs, they picked up every bone from their own dead as to not leave a trace of their migration. Isn't that remarkable? Oh, Noah's Ark story, so dumb. Oh, we already seen that video. Man, how long are we going? 3 hours and 12 minutes? Oh my God. If liberal politicians treat the people this poorly when we are armed to the teeth, well then, just imagine, if you will, what they will be willing to do once they have taken away your guns. Wow. Wow. That is so true, though. It is absolutely so true. Man. Again, I chose a file that was way too big to share in one video. I still got way too much to go. So I just wanted to spend time with you guys today because I'm going to be at a meetup tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, not recording it. There might be people in there recording all kinds of things, but I'm not taking all that stuff. I'm going to spend time with my community and everybody who took time out of their lives to travel, fly in, drive in, come get hotels and whatever and stay. So for 2 days and 2 nights, I'm going to kick it with my community. That's what I'm going to do. And other people can do little video clips or whatever. I do have a video locked in that you guys will be watching because it'll automatically, it's already scheduled. It'll be a surprise. It's just scheduled to drop. But for Friday and Saturday, I'm all about the my community, this meetup. Yeah, it's hot. It's tired of wearing this hat today. I gotta get pretty. I gotta shave my head and my face and go ahead and iron a couple shirts. I gotta pretty up. Yeah, man. So Wi-Fi is spotty, they saying anyway, Jason. Okay, well that's fine. I'm planning on doing a video anyway. I still got stuff going on in Cypher and in the underground. We got to set it up to where the videos are crossing over. But this is fun. I like the meme. I like in the underground. You can check it out. There's way more memes than I just shared. There is 100 times more memes in meme warfare section of Archaix Underground. Archaix Underground is awesome. Links in the description box. Like I said, we go live. I'm standardizing my schedule. So for you guys, if you guys don't know, my schedule has now been officially standardized. I've told my communities, all three of my communities, and I will be going live from 2 to 5 in all three communities on Friday, 2 through 5 p.m. That's Texas Standard Central Time. On Fridays, it's YouTube, so everybody can watch the video on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. It's YouTube. On Tuesdays, it's always Chat Tuesdays in the underground. It's a 3-hour live video where everybody comes on screen with me. That's Chat Tuesdays. On Thursdays, it will be right before Friday. On Thursdays, it is Cypher Group, and we'll be doing 3-hour live videos in Cypher. But in Cypher, those videos are very unique. We've been doing NFL, but NFL's over with. We've been doing NFL and letting the community watch us do a bunch of testing and all that and predictions. We're going to start the live videos, actually doing predictions for people in the Cypher group, taking their information, running it through the software, telling them exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. We're going to get very specific because that's what the software is designed to do. A lot of people are having success using Cypher in different areas, but we also need to provide guidance in what exactly you can and cannot do. So Cypher's an awesome community too. So I'll be going live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, always at 2 through 5 p.m. This gives me my Saturdays, so I can have a life. This gives me my Saturdays and Sundays back. I now have weekends to myself. If I want to research and read and do all that's my business. But I'm not going to force myself to do anything on Saturdays and Sundays anymore. I'm gonna live my life, travel, do different stuff. But Monday through Friday, I'll be working full tilt. That still leaves my Mondays and Wednesdays free to do YouTube stuff. I just don't know what I'm going to do, like podcasts or whatever. But we're rescheduling everything so you guys don't have to wait for notifications. You automatically know. Oh, okay, Jason's going live no matter what every Friday at 2 p.m. Central Time, whatever time that is to you. Or if you're in Cypher, we already know. Every Thursday, Jason's going live in the Cypher group. Every Tuesday, and it's always the same time, 2 to 5. Standardizing everything helps everybody develop their own schedules. It helps me to remember it, and it shows me what other days in the week I can do things and what days I can take off. So, yeah, that's what. Yeah, Lacey. Lacey said, but can you ever do a late night Q&A again? Yeah, absolutely. That's what Mondays and Wednesdays are for, because Mondays and Wednesdays are free days. They're still my work days, Monday through Friday. Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm free to do whatever I want. I can do podcasts with other people. I can do late night. I'm still going to continue my late nights. Those are fun. I like the late night with Archaix. But yeah, that's what it's going to be. I just need my Saturdays and Sundays free. I have not been since I built this channel. I have not had a standard schedule. I've just effed off and done whatever, but I need one because I need to be a little bit more productive, and I've got some serious videos and research on the way, and I want to increase my production quality. I want to be able to put out some fantastic, amazing stuff, because we still have a lot of Calendrix videos to get through. The history of the world is fascinating, and there's still stuff I haven't divulged. So yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Well, let's go ahead and check out with a badass song here. Choose a different song, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh, I got so many choices.
History's a great cheap arcade game. Catastrophes and neon lights dancing through the endless nights. We're stuck, we're free. It's all debris of what will be. Look forward to the past. Spin the seconds, make them last. Round and round, no straight line. Time's a loop and it's divine. Cataclysm cool, we ride the waves. Crown of chaos, but we misbehave. Tick, tick, tock, let's twist and shout.